Uploading.
Every time I go and see this video, I'm just like, I made that, and I made that so well.
Dude,
and it's like,
fantastic.
And I was so drunk making that.
Wow, that I didn't know.
Yep.
In case you didn't know, it is episode 6. Episode 6.
Or
of
if you're listening
BJD
on the podcast,
Podcast.
episode 7, because 3 had to be split in 2.
This is true, yes, because we can only upload so many at a time. So this is BJD Podcast episode 7.
Or 6.
I, once again, am Ray, joining you from the newly rebranded SLG Network Studios. And I am joined today, as always, with my co-host, Mr. Kevin Wilson. Kevin, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. Doing fantastic. I've got a couple of drinks. I got some water. I've got stuff I need to go and work on while we're doing the show. And, well, that's about it. How about you?
You're just going to be doing a whole lot of multitasking.
That's what I do best.
It is what you do best. That is why we do appreciate the ADHD. I am doing okay. As we've talked about throughout the course of the week, it hasn't been a real good stretch of mental health days for me. There are a lot of things going on, mostly work related, some stuff at home, but the only reason why the stuff at home is exacerbated is because of the massive amount of stress at work right now. So, we're just plugging through it, working one day at a time. So with that being said, Kev, out of all of the topics that we talked about today in the pre-show, which one do you want to get started with?
I am not sad. Hey, look at that.
And the comments from the Twitch, our comments are working this week. For those of you that weren't here last week, we were having there were so many technical difficulties between my camera, between the comments, the stream. It was just, oh Lord, I am glad that everything now is just rolling smooth.
Yep. And hey yo, Zrivum, third to X Rivum, third to.
I just go. He is a faithful commenter. I just go with X Rivum. I don't know if that's
okay.
like.
How about this? How do you pronounce that? That's the question I'll go and ask this dude or dudette. How do they pronounce this?
This individual.
Because the X makes me want to say like
xylophone.
Like exactly like xylophone. So it's like, but the R and the I there, it's like, but what is it?
It's just it's as if this individual, and please take no offense to this if you're listening, just grabbed a bunch of those letter magnets that we used to have when we were kids and just threw them against the wall, or threw them against the refrigerator door, I should say.
He was like the gif of Floyd Mayweather with all the money, just like wham, wham, wham with all the cash, all the bills, y'all. He just taking that with the letters. Letter, 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 letter.
Yeah, no.
Already off to a roaring start.
No, that's exactly what I feel like is going on. How and it would have in Floyd Mayweather's case, it would have to be money because hooked on phonics, bro.
Yeah.
Didn't work for him.
No, but boxing sure as hell did.
It did. He's still not better than some of the boxers that he thinks he's better than.
Well, yeah, but
You don't want to fight Manny. Listen, he was last generation's who's the Paul brother now that cherry picks his fights? Not the one that's in WWE right now.
Jake.
He is last generation's Jake Paul. Because he did not want to fight Manny Pacquiao until Pacquiao was 1 foot in politics and 1 foot out the boxing world. Yes. And not for nothing, the fact that he didn't knock out Logan Paul when he actually fought him, it's a little... Ugh. If you're the undefeated man, and he only got undefeated... He only got away with that undefeated record because of how he boxed his last few years, where he was mainly a defensive boxer.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially just running and dodging. He was playing dodgeball, and everybody else's fists were the balls. So, with that being said, I'm as you can tell, I'm not a huge fan of Floyd Mayweather. I do respect what he has done for the boxing game, and the fact that he kind of brought boxing back to the forefront. I'm just not a fan of his style, which is fair. You can respect somebody. The two aren't mutually exclusive, right? Like, you can respect somebody for what they have done in their particular profession, but you don't have to like them. I don't like LeBron James. I don't like the way that he's changed the game of basketball. Most of the time I feel like I'm watching football, not hand egg, but football, instead of basketball. Came from the era of Kevin McHale throwing bows at Rambis. Rambis getting choked out on TV in a playoff game. And then you got LeBron James, who gets sneezed on from across the court and acts like he got shot. And unfortunately, the newer, younger players are following suit. We're both Celtics fans. Who is the number one and number two culprit of constantly bitching to the refs when something doesn't go their way, or if they feel that they got fouled? 1 and 2.
Jaylen Brown, and it's
You mean Jason Tatum?
Jason Tatum. No, and Jaylen Brown does do it a little bit, but Marcus Smart does it more.
There you go. 1 and 2. Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart.
Jaylen Brown definitely will go and complain a little bit to the refs, but for the most part, he basically is just like, all right, fine, whatever. But Tatum and Smart, they just seem to both.
Dude, they will sit there. They will argue with the ref while their team is one man down on the other end of the court because you didn't get your ass up. You didn't hustle to the other end of the floor because you chose to talk to the ref.
Woohoo.
Our old friend Play, after coming on in, says, hey, this show doesn't stink. You are correct, sir. We both showered today, so it should smell like Irish Spring. He also says that Jaylen Brown is the true MVP of the Boston Celtics. I agree.
I agree with that. I also don't agree with Ray. It doesn't smell like Irish Spring to me. It smells like those, those big brick Duke Cannon soaps?
Yes. Which one do you have?
It's I think it's the sandalwood. Is there the green one? I forget what it is, at this point because I've been using this for like 3 weeks and I don't remember the box. But it's one of those, and then I've also got a Budweiser and a Busch beer soap.
I can't get on board with the beer scented soaps. I've done the Buchanan Big Bar of Charcoal. And the one that I have right now, I think, is like the Big Bar of Americano or whatever it was. I think it might have been the green box.
Yeah, I know it's what's this comment? Play Doctor. Completely stopped me in my tracks. The fact that the Celtics offer JB and picks for KD is idiotic to me. Oh, he hits a nail on the head.
Yes.
Like the last few years, you've seen the talk being, we got to get rid of Jason Tatum. We got to get rid of Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum has to be traded. Marcus Smart has to be traded. Tatum Smart. It's almost like Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn, Finkel. Finkel, Einhorn. And you want to get rid of Jaylen Brown instead when, I said that Jaylen Brown will go and complain to refs, but he doesn't do it nearly as often as Smart or Tatum.
No, not nearly as much of a distraction as Smart. But I will say this. Jaylen Brown needs to look at this from a different perspective. I understand how he feels that there is a level of disrespect because his name is always in trade talks, right? Like a big player requests a trade, or trade deadline's coming up, and Jaylen Brown's name is on the board. Look at it from this perspective. That's because you're good. That's because you're a star on this team. Before Jaylen Brown and before Jason Tatum, it was always Marcus Smart. And to this day, it's still Marcus Smart's name in trade rumors. Because at one point, he was the only star on the team. Or, I'm sorry, he was the biggest star at one point on the team.
Yes.
So yes, you're going to...
Before Tatum and Brown came in, Smart was the biggest star on the team.
Right. So you're going to have your name when you're that caliber. I can't believe I'm saying this about Marcus Smart, but for argument's sake, when you're that caliber, your name is always going to be in trade rumor talks, and it's not something that you can help. And I really hope and I really wish that he is not looking at it from a disrespectful standpoint. Unfortunately, it's just how business is done. Now, the one thing that I will say that I think has saved it is the fact that Kevin Durant has come out and been like, no, I want to play with Jaylen Brown. I want to play with Marcus Smart. I want to play with Tatum. So now, the person that you were going to trade Jaylen Brown for is like, no, I don't want to go there if there's no Jason Brown. I don't want to Jaylen Brown. I don't want to go there if there's no Jason Tatum. I don't want to go there if there's no Marcus Smart. So now it's a good thing, it's a bad thing, because now you've kind of you've narrowed down the options for which to trade. Right? Like, you've taken away some of your chips, or Kevin Durant has taken away some of your chips from the table. Because if the Celtics offer James White some picks and Marcus Smart, Kevin Durant can go, no, I told you I want to play with Marcus Smart. At that point, you're like, well, who do you want to play with more? Do you want to play with Jaylen and Jason more than you want to play with Marcus Smart? Because if so, then boom. If you think Marcus Smart is more valuable because of his Defensive Player of the Year standing, then you gotta, one of them has to go. You can't hold on to, can't eat your cake and, what is it?
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah. Which is weird, because don't you have to have cake in order to eat it?
In a way, yes.
Like, I can't not have cake and still be able to eat it, right?
Look,
like, the cake has to be in front of me, in my possession, in order for me to eat it.
That's one of those that is very weird.
Yes.
It's one of those weird things that it makes you kind of question, like your proficiency in English, especially speaking it. Where did we get 2?
You started the show off with 1 when I was doing an intro.
Really?
So for those of you following at home, Kevin's yawn total for the night is up to 2, and we are 15 minutes in.
Oh, fuck off. Anyway, derailing the joke. Now I gotta play this one.
Emotional damage.
That's how I feel after seeing, friggin' yawn total 2.
Sorry, bud.
But I hate that one.
As you were saying about the having your cake and eating it too.
Well, it's one of those, like, English is a tough language to speak because of just all the different words that English is kind of not so much taken, but just from being conquered and conquering the amount of words that are all together.
Well, according to the rest of the world, the English language is a bunch of words trying to be a language.
Pretty much.
Because there's no rhyme or reason, and they bring up like red and there and there.
Well, there's let's see, where and where, tear and tear.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, and
yeah.
don't forget tear and tear.
Yeah.
You've got 3 theirs, you've got 3 twos. 2 of the twos have the same letters, but 1 has an extra.
And yeah.
We got to address these comments.
We really do, because
like we
Plague Doctor
really
is firing them off. So
yeah,
let's catch up on them real quick.
Yep, let's catch up on this. And honestly, do you have anything more to go and discuss about Jaylen Brown, Celtics?
No, that was just that was just a shiny moment. That's all that was. We had a little bit of an ADHD moment. I was going to say an HDD moment. We had a hard disk drive moment. Okay.
I thought you were about to say we had an HD moment. It's like, ooh, a high definition hyperactivity disorder?
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
I am living in 3022.
Different plane.
Yes, sir. Coach, it's been stressful. Not good mental health days the past couple days, let me tell you. So, Plague Doctor is
HD and ADHD and HDD and all this other stuff. I just have to say it.
SSDD.
Motherfucker, do you speak it?
No, not today. We are not speaking it today. So I'm assuming the Plague Doctor is watching Dynamite, and he just came in with 3 rapid-fire comments. Let's catch up with them real quick. Number 4 just came in. He said, Punk said...
Oh, come on, don't do that to me. ADHD, HDD, crap.
You know that whole thing about throwing magnets at the refrigerator? That's
Yep.
what that was.
That's
He
that.
says, what about ADHD, ADHD, HDAD?
Yep,
And then he follows it up with, I broke Kevin. Yes, you did. You absolutely did. And for those of you that are listening to us, don't forget to follow us, and you can see us live and participate with us on Twitch. The address there is twitch.tv/BJD Pod. You can also find us on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and search the BJD Podcast. We don't have a custom channel, custom URL at this moment for our channel because we don't have enough subscribers. So let's get our numbers there so that we can be youtube.com/the BJD Pod. So getting back to Plague Doctor's comments before he broke Kevin.
Well.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I forgot about Twitter. I forgot the Bird app. Don't forget to go to your Twitter machines and type in the BJD Podcast, where you can follow all sorts of our Tweety goodness. Plague Doctor says, Punk says Mox is the, quote, 3rd best guy in his own group, and that seems to be a recurring theme in his career. And when did the cops show up to arrest Punk for murder? Because that right there, finish the promo. He's done. You can't come back from that. You are the third best guy in your own group, and that seems to be a recurring theme in your career. Obviously, he is talking about the Shield,
Yep.
and now he's talking about Blackpool Combat Club.
Oh,
That is a murder on live TV. Folks, you just witnessed an evisceration on live TV. But that's not all. That's not all. Plague Doctor says...
wait. I need a Billy Mays picture for this one. But wait, there's more!
But wait, there's more. He said he's... I'm sorry. He said Punk said, he's not even the first John I've beaten in Chicago for the title. He's definitely not number one there. My God.
Oh, the
man has a family. By God, he's got kids.
I wish I had the sound clip from the Simpsons episode. Stop, stop, stop. He's already dead.
Right, seriously, my goodness.
That's what that is. It's like, holy shit.
Seriously, then Plague Doctor apologizes. Sorry to bring up wrestling, but these quotes are fire. No, those quotes are wielded with murderous intent. Renee gonna catch a stray dog. You gotta chill. Oh my God.
Shit. Oh,
my
boy.
Lord, that I know that there are some people out there who are not excited for this Moxley Punk match, and I get it, to each their own, but they kind of railed against the idea of it being compared to Rock v. Austin. They say that it's nowhere near close to being Rock v. Austin. And again, it's all about perspective. If you want to compare it to Rock v. Austin, you absolutely can. I mean, you can regardless, because it's all about perspective. It's all relative. It's what you think, right? However, if you want to make comparisons between Rock v. Austin, and Mox v. Punk, I will say this. They are similar because at the time you had Rock and Austin, two of the WWE's biggest stars who both operated in a gray area. There was no clear definable babyface or heel. Whereas now with Punk v. Mox, you have two of AEW's biggest names, biggest draws. Neither is face, neither is a heel, and they both operate in that gray area. How could that not be a comparable similarity? How could that not be a good comparison if you're looking at it in terms of that? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Do you have anything to add to that?
I might have gotten distracted by a Twitch comment that broke my brain again.
Okay, so let's go to the comment that broke Kevin's brain for the second time. Do I need to start a ticker for that as well?
Shut the fuck up.
Kevin has been rebooted twice in 23 minutes. The comment is coming from that 113.
I guess it Drivum?
That says it's pronounced Drivum. Drivum. Yes, Drivum. I took the letters of the alphabet and put the first 13 on top of the last 13. So A is on top of N.
A,
Wait,
B,
what?
C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J.
For those of you that are listening along right now, Kevin is singing the alphabet and counting the letters on his fingers. And he seems to have come to a startling conclusion.
Wow. I feel...
Yes. What is... Share with the class, please.
So, no, legit, that's really cool, actually. So, he took she, they, whoever.
Oh my God, can we just ask their pronouns?
If you want to go and ask, go and ask.
How you like to be referred to? What is your personal preference of pronouns? Yes, I am a speaking type. So as you were saying,
not to be confused with the speak and spell.
Which again did not help Floyd Mayweather.
Or me. And that's a pre-show conversation.
That is a pre-show conversation. Could be a post-show too.
Yeah, it's going to be during the show too. I'm
Yeah,
never going to
clearly.
tell you guys that I'm a good speller. I can pronounce words as best as I can. If it's a brand new word I've never seen before, I'm going to do it my best based off of just what I've learned taking English classes. Spelling wise, though, like I misspelled it on the spelling test. That should give you an idea.
Bro, I lost a school-wide spelling bee because I forgot to put the fucking no, I'm sorry. I got to the finals of a school-wide spelling bee because I remembered the fucking accent mark on macrame, and I lost the spelling bee because I drew a blank on how to fucking spell sesame.
Isn't sesame S-E... Shut up. S-E-S-A-M-E?
Yeah, sure.
It's the same? No. Sesame. English is hard.
Yes. Yes.
Motherfucker, do you speak it?
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Which brings us into our next thing. Allegedly.
Allegedly?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Mr. Tony Khan appeared on Busted Open Radio over on Sirius XM. It must have been after he had snorted a pound of cocaine and puffed on about a quarter pound of crack.
Allegedly.
Have to add that in.
Yes. Yes. Because while speaking on Busted Open Radio, Tony Khan said, and I quote, "The person I have people come up to me and say, as far as being a fan who was around pro wrestling and wrestlers for a long time and then jumped into the business, the person I think I get compared to most of, meaning you remind me of so-and-so, I think we're really different people and I haven't talked to him or gotten to see him in a really long time, is Paul. Not Paul Levesque, the other Paul Heyman. I grew up on that ECW stuff. Our products are different. He's a genius, and I'm not trying to compare the mindset at all, but as far as trying to keep your finger on the pulse of fans during a commercial break, even going out and talking to fans and trying to keep them excited during the show, that means a lot to me. I've gotten to learn a lot from a lot of people in the wrestling business, and without having that official apprenticeship, I love this business so much." Now, I know we joke about, Tony Khan and being hyped up on, cocaine. However, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that he's got, he probably has some anxiety, maybe some social anxiety, and for him to speak in front of people on camera, probably just absolutely, here we go, is terrifying to him. And then he just micro machines everything that he's going to say. So that's where that came from. But it's a laughable quote, but at the same time, I kind of get it. I kind of get what he's saying because how Paul didn't have, like, Paul Heyman wasn't brought in by anybody, right? Like, he wasn't groomed by anybody. Paul snuck his way in and started doing ring photography and made a business off of that. And then somebody said, hey, you're a really good talker. Next thing you know, Paul's a manager. And a fucking amazing one. But he also has a great mind for the business. Now, Tony Khan has a good mind for the business as long as he isn't the business. You see what I'm saying? He is president, he is head booker, he's on the creative team. You have to. What's the word I'm looking for, Kevin? Delegate. You have to delegate some of those activities, some of those tasks. You have enough veteran people there with experience. Delegate road agents, bookers. Focus on two storylines tops. That's it. Focus on a man storyline. Focus on a woman storyline. He's got a good mind for the business, and I don't think, and the only reason why he's getting shit for it is because he was the one that said it. If Dustin Rhodes came on and said it, if MJF came on and said it and broke kayfabe, if Wardlow said it, if one of the Hardys said it, if Cody said it, hell, if Samoa Joe even said it, there wouldn't be this IWC outcry and making fun of the man. But it's because he said it. It's not that he thinks highly of himself. I mean, maybe he does. He probably does. He's a fucking billionaire. I think highly of myself too. To quote Hulk Hogan has a 24-inch cock. Terry Bollea, 6 inches. Tony Khan, the billionaire, 25-foot cock. Tony Khan, the actual guy, 6 inches. You know, that's you. When you're in certain positions, there are certain ways that you need to act to establish or to give off that air of, I don't want to say superiority, but you don't want to be looked at as a pushover, as a walk-on. You know, you want to have your feet firmly planted. Now, we have some comments coming in from the Twitch. And let's see, where are we going with this? Plague Doctor says, the crowd is not feeling Danielson versus Garcia, which is weird to me because I've yet to see a non-banger of a match between the two of them. The storytelling in it is fantastic. You have Bryan Danielson coming back from a head injury. I did throw quotation fingers up there for those of you that are listening and not watching. And if you're not watching, you need to ask yourself, why aren't you watching us live and interacting with us? You can do that at twitch.tv/BJD Pod, or you can follow along on YouTube, youtube.com, and throw us in the search bar. Throw in BJD Podcast. See what comes up. And then when you're there, you can subscribe, like, and share. You can share what you're listening and watching to with your friends and family. You can make fun of us with your friends and family. We welcome it. It's engagement, and that's the name of the game. So getting back to Danielson and Garcia, they put on some really good matches, and they do a really good job of storytelling. It's a very ROH style, where it's, I want to say pure. It's that ROH pure style. Not to be confused with the ROH pure champion, Wheeler Yuta, also a member of the Blackpool Combat Club, where a lot of it is focused on the wrestling, but it's good technical wrestling with storytelling, which is what we want. throw in a little bit of entertainment and throw in some of those matches, and you have yourself a hell of a show. Like Doctor says, Tony can't even cut a promo, and he doesn't control creative. He just has deep pockets, and MJF was right. My 2 cents. Tony does control creative. Tony is the only one that controls creative. They all have creative input, but it doesn't mean that their input will be taken, and it'll be acknowledged, but it may not be taken. Let me see if I get this right. Zrivam13 says, hey, you guys can refer to me as he/him or our Lord and Savior. I'm going to hold off on the Lord and Savior part and just address you as he/him. And this Plague Doctor Count fires back with, if he wants to be compared to him, meaning Paul Heyman, maybe take a little advice from the man himself. Speak slowly and quietly to draw them in, and then speak up when you need to make a point. I absolutely wholeheartedly agree. It will also help him with his nerves, because if he is slowing down his cadence and slowing down and lowering his tone of voice, it gives him something else to focus on than the 120,000 eyeballs that are on him in that arena. Like Dr. also says, he gives final say, but he isn't making these brilliant storylines. No, you're right, he's not. I said he's got... That's where I said he gets in his own way, by having his hands in too many pots. If he were able to just delegate and focus on one main male storyline, one main female storyline, I think you would be looking at a different AEW. I feel like in the beginning of AEW, when they first started, there was more of a creative by committee. Whereas now, he is very much all of, he is the head of creative. He has the final say. And I don't think that is the right way to do business for anybody, any wrestling organization. Do I think that the NWA had it correctly with the booking committee? In a way, because you had to have a majority vote for something to go through. The unfortunate side of having a majority vote, as we see in real life current events, is that now you're getting into actual politics. Because if you want your storyline to go through, now you've got a politic. I'm not a fan of politicking. Me personally, I fucking hate it. I hate politicking, I hate politics, I hate the fucking two-party system. There is a such thing as a fucking gray area, and human beings should not be divvied up like some commodity and put in the yes and the no column, because that's the only columns that have fucking exist, when in real life, that's not the only columns that exist. Real life is gray. Real life is dirty. Real life is messy. There is no black or white to real life. And with that being said, we will not be talking about politics. Now, Plague Doctor has rapid fired a couple more comments. He said, I agree. My lord, he is on his game today. He says, I agree. Vince himself said that when he had to do it all, he had no life, because that's what it takes to run a business by yourself. And to hide all the NDAs. For those of you that aren't following this, Vincent Kennedy McMahon / WWE / Wall Street Journal / SEC story, they found another $9 million in payments that were not reported. However, those payments, they said, seem to line up with donations made to one WWE former I'm sorry, you can't be a former WWE Hall of Famer. It's not something that can be taken away. My bad. Didn't mean to do that.
Well, wait a minute. Remember
What?
Hulk Hogan?
I'm sorry, is Hulk Hogan not in the Hall of Fame twice?
But he was one of the only people I can see in history that had their Hall of Fame revoked after the video that came out.
Which was more of a way for WWE to cover their ass. However, is he in the Hall of Fame?
Oh no, I know he's in the Hall of Fame, but
No,
technically,
but is he listed? Is he listed as Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan?
Technically, you can be a former Hall of Famer since WWE set that precedent.
Oh, okay. So that's where we're going.
Yep, this is what's called trolling.
You know what? I can give you the name, number, and web address of a really good podcast that would love to have you on their show. And you can talk about how you can have former WWE Hall of Famers as your guest.
Yeah, I know. Mark didn't know that he could lose that title.
No. he did not. So Calvin's
right.
doctor says
I
politics
really don't. No, I was just going to say, Ray, I really don't want to go to a podcast that steals. So,
listen, man, we do not like stealing. We do not like stealing money from co-hosts on two separate occasions. We do not like stealing intellectual properties. We do not like stealing graphics. You shouldn't steal because then you just look like a fucking dimwit. Patton Oswalt. Don't fuck with people's money,
Don't fuck
bro.
with people's money, bro. Bro, seriously, bro. Don't fuck with people's money,
brother. Listen, brother.
But,
don't fuck with my money, brother.
In all seriousness, you don't fuck with money. You know, whether it's paying somebody or paying somebody back or taking money from somebody, you don't fuck with people's money. You know, you don't go and steal intellectual property. You don't go and make petty ass comments about, you know, how this is the logo we own for a show. You know, you don't go and do that because let me tell you something, brother. Okay? There are people who are pettier than you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? There are people who are pettier than you, will out-petty you to a point where they're running laps around you. Okay?
Is this Kevin's version of I'm rednecker than you?
No, it's not more redneck than me, though. Earlier today, we're doing some landscaping around the house, and the landscaping company that's putting sod out back dropped off the contractor got dropped off some topsoil to go and put the sod on top of. And while shoveling it off of the brand new concrete that's dry enough that you could walk on, but we're like, we really don't want to have it on the new concrete, so let's go and dig it away and push it off.
Yeah.
I took the leaf blower and did the redneck cool down of turning the leaf blower on and pointing it at my face.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You know, because it's like, fuck it, it's here. You know, but like, look, I'm sorry. If you're going to go say this is the logo that we own, well, I guess that's the logo you're going to own when you only make minimum wage at a hardware store.
Ouch. I feel like that was... Why did you... I felt that in the bottom of my ball sack. Jesus Christ.
I told you. I can be pettier.
Fucking speedballing the man bags, buddy.
Oh,
so listen,
speedballing the man bags? You mean speedballing the man bag?
Lord, I apologize. That's all I can say. I just don't understand. What do you get? Tell me what you get out of stealing money on two separate occasions. Because if you have taken somebody's money in and with an agreement that they will receive some sort of goods, services, or receive the money back in full in a timely fashion, if you haven't done that, if you haven't given any of those things and you have just kept the money, you have stolen the money. And then to steal intellectual properties, graphics, which falls under intellectual properties, and then to also steal somebody's tagline. Now, there is a tagline that I am a very big fan of, and I am so glad that we will be back where we can use it again because it's a fun tagline. I enjoy it. I didn't come up with it. It's not mine. So when we did this little independent adventure known as the BJD Podcast, I stopped using it. And there will become a time very soon where I can use that tagline again. And I like it. I'm not the one that came up with it, but it is fun to use.
Yes.
So Plague Doctor says, we covered him saying, you don't fuck with people's money. And that's kind of how we get started on this whole rant. He also says, I am the pettiest bitch in this bitch of all the bitches. Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that. So, what we have going on right now is I want to see how long we can go with silence before Kevin says something.
Something.
There you go. He was listening, so it didn't count. But
Nice try, jack off.
Kev, one thing that we were talking about today is we were talking about, and you and I actually have a differing of opinions on this. Training camps have started. What do they call them? Cooperative training camps?
Oh, you're talking about that. I don't even really think there was a difference of opinion because you're absolutely right. You can explain it, but you're absolutely right.
Oh, okay. I
Loser
thought
mentality.
Oh, all right.
I took
what you said the wrong way then.
No, I was engaging in primal male brain of going ooga booga, fight, ooga booga, more fight.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I was
Joint
doing.
practices,
I wasn't
that's
like
what it
trying.
is.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to go and do like, that the fights prove that the team is gonna, be a winner. They're gonna stick up for each other, fired up. It's like, nope, that doesn't work in the NFL. That only works in hockey.
Yes.
Where you get
that's
into
really
a fight,
the only sport that it
and
works
it's just like, boom, okay, here we go. Let's fucking win this shit. In the NFL, no, it doesn't work like that. Loser teams get in a lot of fights because they don't have the mental toughness to be the bigger person.
Right.
Now, obviously, we're not on an NFL field, so we don't have the adrenaline coursing through our bodies. And obviously, adrenaline makes you do some weird shit.
Yes.
But it's still one of those, like, guys, come on. You're getting into fights, and they're in my backyard, essentially, even though I'm in South Carolina, and South Carolinians consider the Carolina Panthers to South Carolina, is North Carolina's team. Believe it or not.
They're they belong to the Carolinas.
But because they play in Charlotte, South Carolina considers them to be more of a North Carolina team. And North Carolina goes to the games. Like North Carolinians go to the games more often than South Carolinians. In fact, I've noticed in my little town I live in, I've noticed a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh no! Say it ain't so, Joe.
know.
Say it ain't so.
I'm like, oh god, of all the teams.
God, why? Why the Steelers? Fuck.
That's just what they like down here. I'm like, all right, whatever.
But get back to your whole thing about how they look at it, and they're like, oh, it's in Charlotte, so they look at it as North Carolina's team. You realize how ridiculous that sounds? That would be like Connecticut being like, yeah, no, I don't want to go to a Patriots game because they play in Mass. That's not my team.
Well, okay, number one, Connecticut's not a New England state because no New England state would willingly choose to root for a New York sports team.
I mean, that's fair.
And don't give me this like, but half of Connecticut. No. It's all or nothing, folks. If anything in our political,
We just said we don't. Real life is messy. We don't deal in absolutes.
Said that. Anything in our look, only a Sith deals in absolutes. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I'm a Sith. I deal in absolutes. So, Connecticut, not a New England state, because you can't have half the state root for New England teams and be right, and the other half be wrong.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, that's you got me on that one. You're
And
right.
honestly, I'm suspect of the northern parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine because of how close they are to Montreal.
Don't do that. Don't. Listen.
I'm sus. Not
Listen.
majorly sus, but I'm sus.
I'm going to New Hampshire this weekend on a little mini vacay. I don't need flack from you fellers. Said that you doubt us because we're close to fuck Montreal. We're bringing it all the way. I don't fucking need the old man of the mountain coming after me.
Okay, so here's a question that you can answer me. When you say you're going to New Hampshire, how far into New Hampshire are you going?
Oh, fucking Storyland.
All right, that's actually pretty far. And knowing where you currently reside, that's very far.
Yes.
Because to me, going deep into New Hampshire is going to the presidential mountain range. You know, the White Mountains, Mount Washington.
Yeah.
That to me is going deep into New Hampshire, or going to Pittsburgh, New Hampshire, which is the last stop before you hit Canada.
Gotcha.
You know, that to me is going deep. You know, but obviously somebody who lives closer to Rhode Island than, you know, the fake New England state, you know.
I mean, are you calling Rhode Island the fake New England state? Because I can get on board with that. I feel like there are more Yankees and Giants fans in Rhode Island than Connecticut.
No. They are absolutely a New England state. You want to know what qualifies them to be a New England state? Rooting for Boston sports teams and being shitty drivers. They got those on lock.
They are the shittiest of the shitty.
Yeah. I thought massholes in New Hampshire.
Oh, no, brother. I live on the line. I live on the line, bro. And trust me.
Rhode Island's the shits.
The only reason why I like going into work early is so that I don't have to deal with the fucking Rhode Island drivers going up Route 1. Bro, I left a little late last Friday because it was Friday. I was the only one in the building.
Yeah.
I got stuck going up Route 1 behind somebody who couldn't decide if they wanted to be in the fucking left lane of Route 1 or the right lane of Route 1. So you know what they did? They rode down the fucking middle. They white lined all the way up fucking Route 1 at 30 miles an hour.
Oh, okay. Look, if I was behind this guy, I would be laying on the horn. It'd just be like a constant.
I had to
beat.
stop. I had to stop laying on my horn because I had laid on my horn so much and for so long at such long intervals that it sounded like my horn was going to fucking die. Anybody pulling up beside me must have thought I had the most extreme case of road rage and probably prayed that there was no firearm in my vehicle. Do I have road rage? Yes. Is there a firearm in my vehicle? I'm not telling. But I will have you know that it did not come out. There was no, because I am responsible gun ownership. That is an actual thing.
Yes.
And it's something that I believe in. Believe it or not. There was massive amounts of road rage. Massive amount.
That's funny.
Plague Doctor said earlier, what did he say? He said about 10 minutes ago, he said, Mox said, fuck waiting until Chicago. Let's unify these things now. And CM Punk is going into the ring. Oh, okay, never mind. It was a blow-off segment. I completely missed that one.
Yeah, I saw that, but it's like, ah.
I did see Luchasaurus destroy Pat Buck with the Glasgow kiss there. So, oh yes, I am so sorry. We have gone so far off the trail. So we brought up, getting back to what we originally were talking about, which was the joint practices between the Carolina Panthers and the New England Patriots. Yeah. Yesterday,
we're both having a good day.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's great. I'm over here sounding like JT the Brick and Riley's Auto Parts.
I passed an O'Reilly Auto Parts store while I was running my errands today. And
did you do it in the JT the Brick voice?
I did. Not JT the Brick. I did the He was on CBS Sports radio late nights.
Yeah.
When I was working nights, I forget the guy's name, but he had that very unique voice.
The raspy voice.
Yeah, that raspy voice.
Yeah, I believe that was JT the Brick, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't JT. Oh, this is gonna bother me until I figure this out.
I got a buddy who knows his name by fucking, because we used to work second shift and we would carpool in together, right? So from where I live to Canton, Mass, and back, and at 12:30 he would always do O'Reilly's Auto Parts, where you can get the best prices and the best service. O'Reilly's. And I always thought it was JT the Brick, but it actually reminded me of Ricky Ratman. A little throwback for all of you that may have watched the Trainwreck Woodstock 99 story on Netflix.
I haven't watched that yet, but I
will. Dude, you gotta watch.
There's a lot of shit that I like.
Listen, we are
with the new
every time I
job
try
coming
to
up.
Every time I try to talk about this fucking joint practice, we end up going on other tangents. So let's try to.
That's just how
I mean, that's
how quickly, but and it's just an ADHD thing. So before we'll finish up with the joint practice and stuff, but I've got so many things on my list of shit to watch, but now I can actually have my nights to be able to watch.
Yes, that's huge for you.
Look, no offense to Malwart, where I used to work. No offense to them. It was a good job. I did enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But the hours and the pay sucked for what I was doing.
Yes.
And the hours was more of I go in at 1 in the afternoon and I leave at 10 at night. That basically is the entire day gone.
Yeah.
And the only way for me to get anything productive done is to get my ass up at 5, 6 in the morning. And it's I'm exhausted. I want to sleep. I want to recover to be able to go and do this again tomorrow.
Right. It's not like a typical. It's not like a typical second shift where you're coming in 3 to 10 or 4 to 11.
Or 2 to 10. I used to go and do when I lived up in Massachusetts, and that was fine to me. I didn't mind doing 2 to 10 because you woke up at 8. You still had you had 6 hours before you had to be at work.
Yeah.
That is plenty of time to go and do doctor's appointments. Plenty of time to go to the dentist. Plenty of time to go and get shit done. But going in for 1 and leaving at 10, that's a different type of vibe. And
then they try to sell you on that's why we give you your weekends in the middle of the week.
Yeah, that was not the biggest gripe. It was just one of those man, my Saturday is a Wednesday. What the fuck?
Yep.
It was just weird, because I'm weird when it comes to work.
You're just weird in general.
Well, yeah, I'm just weird in general, but that's besides the point. This is a weirder part then. If I have to take a day off on a Wednesday, I won't. Because I don't like work 2 days, off a day, work 2 days.
See, I will take that Wednesday off, and you know why? It creates symmetry on the week. I have 2 days behind me, I got 2 days in front of me.
To me, it doesn't matter, because it's but you have a random day in the middle of the week. It's why I hated Veterans Day up north, because that was a roaming holiday where
yes,
it could be
not for those of you listening. He did not say Roman, not Roman, not the candle, not the Trojans. He said roaming, meaning that you can't pinpoint exactly when Veterans Day is going to fall until that year.
Yep, I did not say Roman like the swipes. Swipes, like the wipes. Roman wipes.
Oh.
Or swipes. No, they're Roman swipes. I
thought you were going to talk about some dick pills.
Well, they kind of are, but instead it's like a wet wipe that you wipe on you, and it makes you last.
Dick wipes?
Yes. You've never heard of Roman?
I've heard of Roman, but I didn't know they had dick wipes.
Yeah, that's what their whole thing is. Instead of having to go and
their whole thing was dick pills. They were the original dick pill company.
No, that was Viagra, man. Or Cialis.
But Roman was the first online pharmacy that gave you dick pills without a prescription. That's what Roman was known for. I didn't know that. I didn't know that they had wipes.
Yep, that is a recent thing.
Like it was. If I remember the order of events as far as advertising, it was Roman. Then it went Blue Chew. Now it's Hims.
I am trying to find it. This is gonna bother the shit out of me.
The dude's the
dude's
radio
name.
dude. O'Reilly.
O'Reilly out of parts.
O'Reilly. Oh Lord. So anyway, these joint practices with the fucking Patriots and the Carolina Panthers. There were 2 fights yesterday, 2 fights today. So in 2 days, 4 fights. And I can only justify one of those fights. And the one fight that I can justify is
Scott Farrell.
Farrell, that's what it was. Yes.
Scott Farrell here on the ones and twos on CBS Sports Radio, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. I need to go and get his.
You want better parts, better service? You better go to O'Reilly Auto Parts.
And all I had to do was just like, all right, who was on the CBS Sports Radio lineup when I was listening most often? Damon Amendolara.
Oh, fuck DA and his foot fetish. I love it when Toucher and Rich make fun of his foot fetish.
I do too, but DA is also like I liked him when he was on 98.5 The Sports Hub in Boston.
I couldn't stand him.
Oh, I'd rather have him
now.
I'd rather have him than the fucking sports vulture.
Listen, Adam Jones. I like Adam Jones because when I was listening to 98.5, right, when I was hardcore listening to 98.5 from wake up to punching into work, I would also watch the simulcast. And dude, as much as I love Zoe and Beetle, that is truly the Homer show. And I would get so annoyed with some of their Homer takes. And I'm like, so to have it be followed by Felger and Maz and then Adam Jones, it worked for me because as much as I am a Boston fan, I'm shedding. It's that time of year. I'm shedding. There's hair everywhere. Either that or the stress is just causing me to lose all of my hair on my face and my head. So, whatever. If I'm bald next week, we'll know why. So anyway, I am a Boston sports fan, always, but I am not. I'm not the fucking flag waver, man.
As Felger and Maz put it, the footy pajama wearing. That's how they've always going to put it, as footy pajama wearing, especially when they were talking about like Celtics fans. Celtics green teamers.
Oh, the green teamers.
But they'll also go and say the footy pajamas. I hear that, what green teamers you hear with the Celtics, but Patriots you go and hear the footy pajamas.
The footy pajamas. I mean, don't get me wrong. At one point, was I? Yes. And I think everybody kind of goes through that with their fandom, right? And then you kind of grow. You grow with the team, and then, personally, you grow. You grow as a person. Your thought process changes. You mature, and then you start to go, well, why are you upset about that? Why are you upset that people are upset at you for choosing the side of a coach when you could have just kept the greatest quarterback of this generation by just paying him the same amount of money that he's making in Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Why are you upset about that?
We're not gonna. Well, no, we can't get into that because look, I'm Team Brady all the way on that one. Brady was right. Brady over Bill. Bill was wrong.
Dude, Brady. People did not come here to play for Bill Belichick. People came here to play with Tom fucking Brady.
Yeah.
Because they knew that there was a better chance than not that they would make it into the postseason, that they would possibly win a Super Bowl, and that Brady would make them look good. And then they could go, after their 1 or 2 year deal, go somewhere else and make a fucking killing. Because there's two things that players did not come to New England for. One of them was to play for Bill Belichick, and the second one was getting paid. You did not come to New England in hopes that you would get paid at all.
Oh God, no.
So that's what I have to say about that.
You know, but to go back to like the Sports Hub and all that.
Yes.
Like Jim Murray does the same shit that Adam Jones does. But he does it in like a better way. Because he sounds like
he's more flamboyant about it, where I'm sorry, that was very overmodulated. I apologize. He does it in a better, more entertaining, flamboyant way, whereas Adam Jones is very deadpan. Like boom, deadpan. Like he is the Ben Stein of 98.5.
Plus, anybody who goes and gives Minos in Wyoma Square and Lynn their props on roast beef is okay in my book.
I mean, that's fair. The here's the thing. I enjoy Christian Arcan, who is Adam Jones's co-host, but Christian Arcan at times can be very deadpan monotone as well. So it's like you're listening to two Ben Steins, and nobody wants to listen to two Ben Steins. Nobody wants to listen to this for 4 hours. Same fucking thing. No. And that's why I like Nick Cattle.
For dry, red eyes, clear eyes is awesome.
Next up on Win Ben Stein's Money, the final question. So you can win Ben Stein's money. Nick Cattles, I thought Are we done?
No. Yes.
Nick Cattles was a better co-host with Adam Jones because Nick Cattles was the animated one. So highest rated afternoon show on New England radio or Boston radio is Felger and Mazz, right? So you have Michael Felger, who is not a Boston native. He is a Wisconsin transplant, right? Yeah. He came up here for college and stayed. You know, I think he went to BU, and then he ended up staying.
Think so? Yeah. And he's married to Sarah Underwood.
He's married to the Wood.
The Wood. And I like Felger, you know, because he does as much as he sounds like a pathetic asshole at times.
Listen, he is not without fault at all.
Yeah, you know, especially when he was talking about Roy Halladay's passing. You know, he's not without fault, obviously, but he just goes and says things in a way that you and then when you know that oh no, he's technically not a lifer.
No, he's not.
He's a transplant, so he's
not even a Pats fan. He's still a Green Bay fan.
Yeah, he's not seeing it through rose-colored glasses. You know, all of us see it. You know, let me tell you something, brother. There's a second one tonight. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, Daddy.
On the drive down from Massachusetts to South Carolina, I was driving down. I had my younger brother with me, and he had a Patriots hat on. And we're in Pennsylvania, and the guy getting a McDonald's looking at him and goes, "We'll serve you, but we're gonna side-eye you a little bit for your hat because he's wearing a Patriots hat."
And you're a fucking fan.
Well, my first instinct, we weren't close enough. We were close enough to Philadelphia, or closer to Philadelphia, that they were probably Eagles fans over in that area. Mm-hmm. But down here, in South Carolina, I don't see, other than Pittsburgh Steelers, which is odd that the Steelers reached here.
Right.
In the upstate. Look at me, I sound like a local saying the upstate.
In the upstate?
Seriously, I'm in the upstate. I am technically in the upstate.
Are you really?
Yes. I'm on the fringe of the upstate and the Midlands of South Carolina.
Really?
Yes.
Good to know.
But as I was saying, like down here you see some Steelers stuff, but I also see a lot of Clemson and a lot of USC. And I'm not talking about Southern California.
University, the Gamecocks.
Yes, I'm talking about the Gamecocks, which my brother is a fan of. And last week we went to Anderson, South Carolina, about an hour away from where I live. And
so your brother's a fan of cocks?
It's like the Triple H Vince McMahon segment back in the day.
Yep.
You hate roosters. I love roosters. You hate chickens. I love chickens. You hate cocks. I love cocks. And the crowd starts to chant, Vince loves cock. Vince loves cock. And you can see this like smug smile on Hunter's face. Like,
well, think about it. He's telling national TV in front of millions and millions of people. He just told his father-in-law, "You love cock." How could you not? I wouldn't be able to keep a straight face.
Nope. And kudos to Vince to being able to stay in character, because I'm sorry, if I was in Vince's shoes, I would not have been. I would have had to turn around. Because I'd have been like, yeah, shit.
Pull the Undertaker biting the inside of the lip.
Yep, I would have had to do that.
Which, let me tell you, that's pretty fucking painful. I understand why he does it to stay in character at times. Or did it.
Yeah, well, it is fucking painful to bite the inside of your lip. No, but, like, he wanted to go and get a USC hat. And again, University of South Carolina. I'm not talking
Gamecocks.
about Trojans. Gamecocks.
Wanted to put a cock on his head.
So, but no, seriously, the hat that he was looking at, that was like, oh, dude, check this out. And I looked at it. It actually said Cox on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so he ended up buying a different hat that had just the USC logo with the Gamecock on it. And I'm like, dude, of all the hats, you didn't go and buy the Cox one. The jokes that would have come up with.
Oh my god,
is amazing.
Well, I mean, that's probably why you didn't want to do it, because you want to have to sit in the car with you wearing a Cox hat.
So, hey, buddy, you want me to go and put you on a flight up to Massachusetts? You know, oh, hey, hey, want to go to this place? Oh, hey. Oh, let's go and try to find hey, let's go to South Carolina and try to find a nice bar down here for you to go and wear that one, and I'm sure that'll go over well down here.
So you really like having them cocks on your head, huh? Yeah, I don't think I don't think he would have wanted. Yeah, he probably made the smart decision to not get that hat.
No. It is definitely a house divided, since the rest of us are Clemson Tiger fans. Go Tigers.
Did he just pick the Gamecocks to be a contrarian?
Okay, look, he is definitely like the humor of
the
DX.
milkman's baby.
No, he's not the milkman's baby, but the humor of DX, like, and George Carlin live within him. So, like, of course he's gonna go in like a team that their nickname is the Gamecocks. You know, George Carlin would absolutely go, hell yeah, I'm gonna like this team because it has one of the words you can't say on TV, cock.
The year of the cock.
Oh, okay, all right, I gotta write that down. That's the title of this episode.
There we go. Sometimes they get named before the show, sometimes they get named after the show, and sometimes they get named during the show. So getting back to the topic that we started talking about 35 minutes ago. Joint practice. The New England Patriots joint practices with the Carolina Panthers. 2 fights yesterday, 2 fights today. So in 2 days, 4 fights for all of you math whizzes. Only one of those fights I can get behind, and that was one of the fights that occurred today. Christian Wilkerson was returning a kickoff. Christian Wilkerson got leveled. It is a joint practice. The Carolina defender that leveled him stood over him in a menacing, taunting manner. Christian Wilkerson, by all accounts, especially from one Paul Perillo, who is yes, he covers the Patriots, but he is also pretty down the middle with his coverage, said he thought that Wilkerson was out cold because Wilkerson just laid there stiff as a board on his side before anybody ran out to him. So Wilkerson it's very probable was fucking done. Like DOA, bag him, tag him. And then, so, you know, it was only for a few seconds and then kind of comes to. So immediately after that, McCaffrey, I think it was McCaffrey had the ball, and then, no, I'm sorry. So after that, there was a little bit of an issue on the sidelines where they stuck up for Wilkerson, as you should in that instance.
Mm-hmm.
Without a doubt, you should stick up for your teammate in that instance. And it started a scrum. A couple players got ejected. And then the next Carolina possession, McCaffrey has the ball. He's out of bounds. He gets hit out of bounds, hums the ball at Patriots player, defensive player, and they're off to the races again with another scrum. Here's the thing. I am behind, and I will defend the Wilkerson fight without a shadow of a doubt, with a tear in my eye. I will absolutely defend that. The other three fights are indefensible, because you know who does that? The fucking Cleveland Browns. That's who does that. A team that is made up of losers. A team that is mentally weak. A team that does not know how to just walk away. A team that is not used to winning. A team that has not been there before. That's who starts fights. That's who participates in fights during joint practices. Teams like that. Speaking of the Cleveland Browns, quick question, Kev.
Yes.
Can you, as a team, suck and still improve, but still suck? Meaning, imagine the suck scale is broken up into tiers, right? And the very bottom tier, which would be the most suck, because it'd be like a spectrum, right? Yeah, your very bottom tier is like the most suck ever, and then the higher you get, the closer you get to being good. Can you not be closer to the bottom of the suck spectrum, but still also improving, but still suck? Because you're still in that suck category, but you're just higher up. You're not in the good category yet, but you're not at the bottom. Can a team do that? Yes, no? Can a team suck, but be improving, but suck?
Yeah.
Okay, and there you have your
Because
Cleveland Browns.
like you can be improving, which the Cleveland Browns are definitely improving. They had a top 10 defense last year.
Yeah, somewhere. Top 20. Let's say top 20.
To be safe, a top 20, but I feel like they were a top 10 defense last year. I'll go and
Yeah,
double check
I know.
as
You're
we
probably
talk.
right, but I don't want to misquote that.
But it's one of those things where you can absolutely be improving, but because you have the cloud of suck over you and has been over you for so many years, it's hard to shed that.
Yeah. Because each year that you're in the suck, if you're not improving, I mean, and this is going to kind of sound redundant, if you're not improving, you're sucking. So you just keep falling down the ladder of suck. But the Cleveland Browns are no longer on the bottom rung of the suctitude ladder. They're probably maybe around the middle rung right now, but you're still on the suctitude ladder. You're still on the ladder of suctitude. You have had, in the last 12 years, 1 plus 500 season. That's it.
12-year, yes.
In the last 12 years, you've had 1 plus.
2007.
What's that?
20, what was that? 2020 that they had the plus year.
Yeah, it's the one
Yeah,
that took the
2020.
Chiefs to the brink.
Yeah, so that was 2020.
Yeah.
But their last over 500 season was 2007 when they went 10-6 and missed the playoffs.
Okay. So that is 15 years. In 15 years, you have had 2 plus 500 seasons. How the fuck does that not put you on the ladder of suctitude? Fuck, the Pats are on the ladder of suctitude. Pats are probably right around where Cleveland is at the moment, if you take the last 2 years into account. I mean, Christ. And if he keeps going this way, might as well call them the fucking New England Browns or the Cleveland Patriots.
And it's not to say that the Browns were like a terrible team last year. They were 8-9.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
so it's not like they were this like. No offense to them. I haven't watched the recent Hard Knocks episode, but I watched last week's Detroit Lions Hard Knocks episode, and oh my God, was it like, dude, they're making me root for this team. Holy shit.
That's the point of Hard Knocks.
How can you not root for the Lions too? It's like you see the coach, you see some of the players out there.
Oh
like,
shit!
They're rookie.
Oh shit!
What's oh shit? What's oh shit? Because it's certainly not the Red Sox Pirates game.
I don't want to spoil it, but just know that I'm watching Dynamite. I'm watching Dynamite, and it is a trios tournament match.
Mm-hmm.
So just think about that. Just think about that.
Team defensive stats for the Cleveland Browns last year, and I can't friggin' find them. Ah, here they are. Okay.
I'm going to try to not spoil it, but if you have a brain cell in your fucking head, people, you will understand what I'm talking about. On one side of the ring, you have one... what the fuck is his name? Andrade El Idolo. I kept wanting to call him Cien Almas. You have Roosh, and you have Dragon Lee. That's one team. On the other side of the ring, you have a team. One guy's named Nick. The other guy's named Matt. And they had a surprise third. And it wasn't Brandon. If you know, you know.
Oh, he's back?
Yes.
Sweet. That's awesome.
But he's like Ric Flair wrestling, bro. He's got like the t-shirt and the brace. The medical brace harness there. It's not it's very weird, like almost as if it were rushed. I wonder if it's too early.
Hang on. Okay, I have to go and share this. Breaking news.
That was the breaking news headline.
Yes, that was a breaking news sounder, which we have now. Boom. From Dick Vitale, Dr. Rick Brown just notified me with my results of my major PET scan and told me news I wish every cancer patient can hear. He said, Dick, you have gone from being in remission to being cancer-free.
Fuck
Thank
yeah.
you to all of you that have sent me prayers. Fuck yeah.
Dickie V, baby.
I'm scrolling Twitter because it's like, oh, let me just go and double check. And of course, I see Tony Khan go and spoil it on Twitter.
Of course he does.
You know? And I saw this and I'm just like, oh, I have to, like, here we go. Not only do I get to go and say this on air, I also get to do the breaking news sounder. Because, yeah.
Because that was breaking news.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was from 3 hours ago, but still, it's like, holy shit.
Breaking news for the day. And you know what's awesome? And it happened last week after our show, and shame on us for not putting it in this show. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, cancer-free, not in remission, cancer-free.
Oh, that's so good to hear, too.
Number 2, it was his second battle with cancer, and he seems to have overcome that second battle. There was footage of him ringing the bell and giving the big old thumbs up on the floor. So, yes, the Patriots have a loser mentality. And you know whose fault it is? Bill Belichick's. Why is it Bill Belichick's fault? Well, because he chased the greatest quarterback of this generation off. He has also decided to implement this Kyle Shanahan run and gun West Coast 2.0 offense on the fucking drop of a dime. And the O-linemen are having a very difficult time trying to adjust to it because it is a precision blocking scheme. Now, meaning that it is you don't block in this scheme the same way that you would that all O-linemen are taught. So you're going against their teachings. And some of them have had this teaching of how to block and footwork for 20 years, if not more, depending on their age. And you're trying to change that in weeks for this season. But here's my thing. Kyle Shanahan, Kev.
I wish that I could share this video of the entrance that you were talking about on AEW.
Yeah. Can you share the audio? I mean, not the audio.
You need the audio.
Oh, you do?
You need the audio because Justin Roberts does the introduction, and it's just like within the first couple of lines, you know exactly who it is, and the pop just gets louder and louder and louder until he actually comes out, where it's just like a boom. Wait, the Charleston Coliseum?
Yeah, it's House of the Dragon. It's the House of the Dragon show.
Hang on.
Crap, what were we just talking about? We totally just had an ADD moment. Fuck. Oh, yes. Kevin, Kyle Shanahan. He is the head coach.
Oh, they're in West Virginia.
Charleston, West Virginia. Oh, that makes so much sense now. They're not in the Carolinas.
Sorry, I was massively distracted there.
Yes.
Will happen again.
So focus with me for right now. Kyle Shanahan is the head coach of what team?
San Francisco 49ers.
San Francisco 49ers. Is there a quarterback controversy with the San Francisco 49ers?
No, there's no controversy. Trey Lance is the starter. Jimmy G's a bitch.
Okay. So it's safe to say that Jimmy G does not have a place to play.
No. Like, there was talk with the Zach Wilson injury to the New York Jets that maybe they make a move for Jimmy G, and it's like, are you kidding me? No. Why would you go into, like, I remember the podcast where Marcellus Bennett came on and said, yeah, that the 4 weeks that Brady was out and Jimmy G was the starter, and that 4th week he had like a thumb injury and didn't want to play through it, so he sat instead. I that colored me to him for the rest of my time there. He's a bitch. And then Julian Edelman said the same thing without actually saying the words. So it's like, I'm sorry, Jimmy G to me is a pretty boy wannabe quarterback.
That made it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he made it to the Super Bowl because of everybody else around him.
Did he make it to the Super
Bowl? And then what
Bowl?
did he do in the fourth quarter? What did he do in the fourth
Oh,
quarter?
yeah, no.
Tell me what he did in the fourth quarter.
Shit down his leg.
Exactly. And
Nobody's
what did Patrick
arguing
Mahomes
that.
do in the fourth quarter?
Didn't shit down his leg.
Exactly. And don't go in the next breath go and say, but what did Patrick Mahomes do the next year? The next year, he played a better defense.
Okay.
Who knew what to do to go and corral Patrick Mahomes. And Mahomes still tried to, like, I still, clear as day, remember the pass he threw where he was perfectly parallel with the field. And he threw the pass, and it was almost complete. It's like Patrick. Look,
and that's why he's not going to have a long career because of plays like those.
well, yeah, that might hopefully with age does come maturity and wisdom, and he stops doing stuff like that. Holy, you had a 6-run lead, and now it's 1 out with runners at the corners. Finish up the fucking game. Don't do this to me.
Shiny squirrel.
It's a AAA lineup you're facing. Red Sox Pirates, if you haven't.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're what's going on, but it was just how seamlessly, it was just how seamlessly you went from talking about Patrick Mahomes and age maturity. Hopefully, he stops making those throws. Otherwise, he's going to be this generation's Brett Favre. To bitching about the Red Sox being the fucking 2022 Boston Red Sox.
Two
Red
straight
Sox.
sinkers. Well, they're calling that a splitter. I really wouldn't call it a splitter. 2 straight sinkers. 0-2 count. Come on. Strike
Hey, you
him
gotta
out.
wear your rally cap, bro. Gotta wear your rally cap.
Think I don't know about the fucking rally cap?
He's really putting on his rally cap, folks. Here you go.
Let's
There's your
go.
rally cap.
No,
So-
like Patrick, I will say this, and yeah, there might be a lot of New England fans that will go and look at me and say, "Oh, no, he's not the best. He's not great." Patrick Mahomes is great, and I feel so bad for him because of who he unfortunately has to share blood with.
Oh, that fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes' brother's a fucking piece of shit, folks.
And it makes Patrick Mahomes more likable because you've seen videos where his wife and his brother go and do these stupid TikTok things, and you see him just looking and like rolling his eyes and turning away. It's like he knows who. That's close to the wrist.
Folks.
But now it's a full count. Like, come on, you had him. Anyway, I said last week that I was comfortable with being alone. Well, the reason I'm comfortable with being alone is because I'm married to the game of baseball.
Oh, what a bitchy shrew she is.
Yeah, especially this season. Oh, come on. What? Fair, right? All right, cool. But did they keep the runner at third?
So, folks, while Kevin is talking to his TV about the Red Sox, let me ask you folks a question. If you follow the NFL, we know that Trey Lance is going to be the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. We know that the 49ers there's a 99% chance that Jimmy G walks. Now, with the Patriots implementing this new Kyle Shanahan West Coast 2.0 offense, whatever the hell you want to call it, it's an offense that Kyle Shanahan runs in San Francisco that Jimmy G has experience with. Do you think that it is far off that maybe Bill reaches out to his boy? Jimmy, come here. Come here, Jimmy.
If Bill reaches out to Jimmy G and tries to go and make a trade with Kyle Shanahan to get him back, Bill should be fired on the spot.
Well, I don't think he's going to trade anything. I think what he's just going to do is you're just going to wait, and what'll happen is Jimmy just walks, and then Jimmy can't get the fair market value of his contract and has to go lower. And you bring Jimmy in as a backup that you bring him in as the quote unquote veteran backup who has experience in the system. And whether or not he plays is irrelevant, but the fact that he has experience in that system would be helpful, especially the way they look now. I am not opposed to that. You'd be able to bring Jimmy in for peanuts on the dollar. Shrivam says, I'll pass on that. Don't need to hinder Mac at all. First off, we don't hinder gender here. Mac wouldn't be hindered because Mac would not, his position would not be threatened. You literally bring Jimmy in. Essentially, Jimmy would be playing the role that Hoyer is playing. You put Zappy down to the practice squad because Lord knows he needs it. Hoyer is your number 3. Jimmy is your number 2. Mac is your number 1. But Jimmy is ultimately there to help the offense get used to this system with the timing, with the route running, with the throws.
Oh, yeah. Got him looking. Oh, that's 3 straight series wins.
And hi, Kevin. Did you know that we are live on Twitch, episode 6
Yes.
of the BJD Podcast?
Yes, and this is great entertainment.
Yes. For those of you that are watching on twitch.tv/BJD Pod, you absolutely can be entertained, interacting with us live in the comments during the stream. I think we can just put a bow on the NFL for now. We will come back to them next week.
Now that I'm reading.
Oh, now you want to talk. Now the game is over. Now.
The Red Sox game is over. I'm going to flip to another baseball game, but I wish I could watch this one. Again, my thing with MLB TV. I live in the Atlanta area. I can't watch the Atlanta Braves because I don't get Bally Sports South on my YouTube TV subscription. But in the age of streaming, blackout still happens. All right, let's watch the Dodgers then.
What was that thought, unrelated to baseball, that you wanted to say before you started talking baseball?
Okay, unrelated to baseball, but we're going to go back to baseball, but probably not. On Dribham's comment, I'll pass on that. Don't need to hinder Mac at all. I get where you're coming from.
Don't hinder
Right.
gender.
When it comes to, like, we're not hindering Mac. Jimmy is going to play the veteran backup. You know, the one that kind of teaches Mac everything. But Mac is also, like, what, 23? 22, 24, something of that? Somewhere in
24,
that
I
age
think.
range? How is he not going to think, this guy went to the Super Bowl?
And shit down his leg.
And like, yeah, as much as he shit down, he went to the Super Bowl. And I heard the stories about Bill loving Jimmy G so much.
Yeah, we all have.
And
that's why he
he's-
put him. He wanted to make sure that he was good when he traded him.
Like, I just look at it as going, like, not that it's going to hinder Mac, but I think Mac is either going to do one of two things with it. He's either going to look at this and go, oh, you're going to bring Jimmy G in to compete? All right, game on, motherfucker. Or it'll be, you know, constantly looking over your shoulder. And honestly, I lean a little bit... Your phone.
Sorry.
I lean a little bit towards looking over his shoulder just because of his age. Because even though he's very much an adult at this point, there's still the insecurities because you really, like, in my opinion, you don't really know fully who you are as a person, or not who you are at this age, but you start to figure out who you are as a person around the age of 25, 26, and he's not there yet.
Right.
So I think Mac is going to have insecurities with this, and I think he's going to constantly be looking over his shoulder. Now, we could all be proven wrong, and all of a sudden Mac has a 4,800-yard, 40 touchdown, 20 interception season. I say 20 because he is still young. He's going to make some dumb decisions. You know, everybody in their early 20s is young, dumb, and stupid. You know, like, I look at it and think that his insecurities are going to pop up and it's going to make him worse. You know, and he's already got, like, everything going against him, it seems, with a former defensive coordinator, Matt Patricia, coaching offense, and a former special teams coordinator coaching offense in Joe Judge. And yeah, I've heard a lot of great things about Tyquan Thornton, but then today at joint practices with the Carolina Panthers, all those first teamers were getting shut down by the Carolina secondary, and a Carolina secondary that's not all that good.
Kendrick Bourne got thrown down to the second teamers.
Yeah, it's like, what are we doing? You know, it's like Bill thought, and still thinks, I don't think it's a thought, he thinks his way is the way that Brady won. And for some reason, he's not fucking seeing the fact that Brady almost orchestrated yet another comeback before Matt Stafford threw up a Hail Mary bomb in the divisional round. It's like, how does
because you know damn well that wasn't Bruce Arians that was calling that shit.
Oh, no. Bruce Arians was a puppet.
I'm going to tell you
Todd
exactly
Bowles
how those
will
play
be
calls
a
went.
coach.
Those play calls
Bowles
went.
will
Those play calls went. Byron Leftwich was like, "So, what do you want to call here, Tom? I want to call this.
Yeah.
Okay, call it."
I agree with that. Where Byron was probably like, you know, hey, I think this might be a good time to do X, and Tom probably agreed, like, yeah, no, we'll go and do this one. But there were times where Byron probably was like, all right, Tom, what do you think? What do you think in this situation? No, I think we should do this one. All right, yeah, go and do that.
Right, because Byron
Todd
played the game at quarterback.
Yeah. Todd Bowles will be a coach. But
Yes.
he knows that, okay, Brady, and I think Leftwich is still on the staff in Tampa, correct?
I think so, yeah.
I would imagine that, like, if Todd Bowles, who was the DC when Bruce Arians was there.
Who's the head in Jacksonville now?
Oh, Doug Peterson, you know, the guy.
Oh, is it Peterson?
Yeah, it was the guy who took a
Wentz?
bad Philadelphia Eagles team, made Carson Wentz look like a world beater.
No, he
You
didn't.
know?
Well, I mean, he made Carson Wentz look like a world beater for a half a season, and then Big Dick Nick Foles came in and just shit on everybody.
Well, because Carson Wentz is made of glass.
Yes.
It's
Well,
like, good luck, Washington.
And he still wants to play. He still wants to play the way that he's been playing. That got him injured.
And that's ultimately what's going to bring him down. Like, Jared Goff and Carson Wentz are going to be like Andrew Luck and RG3, Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf.
RG3, not so much his fault.
So I think RG3 was a mix of him wanting to continue to play the way he did, but also Mike Shanahan kind of running him into the ground a little bit.
Was that Shanahan or was that Gruden too? I think it was Gruden too that.
It might have been Gruden too, actually.
I'm pretty sure it was
Or it
Gruden
might have been
too.
both. It might have been
Because
Shanahan.
I think Shanahan had been around long enough to be like, no, you're not playing because you're going to fuck yourself up even more. Where Gruden 2 would have been like, hey, how many of me do you see? 3. Yeah, that's good. Put him back out there.
And we know how the Grudens go.
Yeah.
So it just, this NFL season is going to be very weird for me because I'm not used to not being able to see the Patriots ever. Should I have put on AEW instead of more baseball?
Well, I think that was what I just was just a I think that was a flub. And I don't think that was supposed to happen. It's over now. I don't think it was supposed to happen, but the camera fully caught one of the masked luchadors without his mask.
Ooh.
Yeah. Did you just see it?
No, I didn't see. No, I didn't see that. I think I still record. I think I still record. Yeah, the yawn count is now at 4. Shut the fuck up. I think I still record AEW Dynamite, so I'll be able to go and watch later.
Yeah, I was just it was just one of those things. It was one of the masked luchadors got his mask worked on, and then got a DDT, and the way that the DDT happened, it pulled the mask completely off to the point that like there were multiple people running back that shouldn't have been trying to cover the face up because they were the ones that tried to work on the mask. And I guess I am being very vague because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't watched it or wants to watch it and has it recorded. Like myself, I have it recorded, but every once in a while I'll take a gander over yonder.
And I'm gonna go and share this because this is interesting to me.
What's that?
The Christmas Day sports schedule this year is nuts.
You have the 76ers at the Knicks at noon o'clock. Jesus. Fuck.
Wait.
Motherfucker, do you speak it?
Yeah, I deserve that one. I deserve that one. 76ers and Knicks at noon. The Packers and Dolphins at 1 p.m. The Lakers and Mavericks at 2:30 p.m. The Broncos and Rams at 4:30 p.m. The Bucks at Celtics at 5 p.m. The Grizzlies at Warriors at 8 p.m. Bucks at Cardinals 8:20 p.m. Suns at Nuggets 10:15 p.m. Holy shit.
Yeah.
In the span of 10 hours, you have 8 games airing. And let's just talk about the fact that Field Yates, at Field Yates on Twitter, posted these about 8 hours ago, 7-8 hours ago, and you notice that he did it in Eastern times. You know why? Because everything goes by Eastern Standard Time.
Yep.
Not Central Standard Time. That doesn't exist. Eastern Standard Time.
Everything is either Eastern or Western or like Pacific. And the reason that it's Pacific, like people care about Pacific time, is and I love it when you get a West Coast Super Bowl because it's a 6 p.m. start East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
It's 3 in the afternoon when the game is over around 10:30 East Coast. It's like it's fully dark, but over there it's like still light out.
Yep. A dusk, if you will.
Yeah. That's what I've loved about living down here. I moved down here just before summer solstice.
Doesn't your sun set at like 9:30?
Yeah, like the latest it was setting was like 8:47 or 8:48.
Jesus
It
Christ.
was nuts. I loved it.
Crazy.
It was great. But it also, like, to get prepared for the new job, I have been getting up early. And tomorrow I'll be up at 5 a.m. because I have to be up at 5 a.m. every day, Monday through Friday now.
Nice.
I get up at 6 and it's like, oh shit, it's still dark out? Fuck.
It's happening here. The sun no longer comes up at 5:15.
Oh. That's one thing I
can't wait. Kev, I can't wait for my dark drives into work in the morning. I fucking love those because there's nobody on the road. It is just peaceful, quiet.
I did
calm.
enjoy that. Even though it was like a 5-minute commute for me, I did enjoy the fact that at 5:45 in the morning before going to work, there was nobody on the roads.
Right.
And then
There's
I also
just
enjoyed
calmness.
if I had to, let's say, as the Milwaukee Brewers catcher got, okay. Pitch went in and it clipped him in his thigh near his groin.
So somebody tried to play Yambag Yahtzee?
It wasn't like, purpose Yambag Yahtzee, but yeah, somebody tried to play Yambag Yahtzee. Oh, God, Max Muncy this season, 185 average. Oh, God, that's bad. Anyway, 2 p.m. when I would leave work, and if I had to travel down 95 in either direction, there was nobody on the road.
Oh, so good.
Yep.
So
Unfortunately, the school I work at, they, school gets out of session at the time that I'm also leaving.
Oh.
So it'll be one of those things where it's going to be a zoo, and I might not leave until like 4.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
at that time, in that instance, that's exactly what I would do. Is I just kind of decompress in my office, chill till everybody's gone. All the fucking crotch goblins have made their way back to Gizmo, and once they're out of sight,
I'll treat it the same way as my previous job as a school custodian. If there were days I usually left at 2, but if there were days that I had to leave at 2:30 because I got a sick call, show up at 1:58, and it's like, well, shit. Hey, look at that, Max Muncy with the home run. Just as I'm lamenting about his average for the season, he goes and hits a homer. Nice. So anyway, shut up. No, if I had to go and stay till 2:30 for whatever reason, sick call, or I was talking with a couple of teachers, or cleaning something up, setting something up, you would have parents who would start showing up at 2 p.m. to go and dismiss their kid, wait in the parent pickup line, and dismissal didn't start until 2:55. So they're in their car for an hour. Mm-hmm. And where I parked, if there were cars blocking you in, you were blocked in. They were not moving.
Yep.
So I'm just like, shit. If it's 2:30, I basically just sat in my office and chilled. And then there were some times I'd go and see a couple of friends of mine in a classroom, and I'd go and chill with them, and then all of a sudden it's like 4 o'clock, and I'm still not leaving the school, and they're like, yeah, shouldn't you be going home? You're here for 2. I'm like, yeah, well, had a sick call right at 2 o'clock, and I had to take care of that because I couldn't find the other guy, and
Yep,
that's how that works.
Right, it's how you can't find them when you need them.
Well, the other thing with that particular night custodian, he didn't do too well with sick calls. He would start gagging.
So why would you take this job, bro?
That's an off-air discussion.
That is a story discussion for a different time.
That's what that one is. That's an off-air discussion.
What is a post-production story?
Yeah. So, I want to hear the pop on the tag.
So,
the pop on that tag was great.
While we start tying the bow, we're not putting a bow on the show yet, but while we start tying the bow, hey Kev, are you aware that there is somebody new running creative for WWE? Are you aware of that?
Good. Yeah. I wanted to go and talk about this stuff. It's Triple H.
So you're aware that Triple H is running creative for WWE?
Of course I'm aware it's Triple H running creative.
I'm aware that Triple H is running creative for WWE. But can you please answer the question as to why there are fucking morons in the IWC that think that Vince is shadow running creative, even though Vince is gone? He is gone. He is nowhere to be seen. It doesn't matter that he is majority shareholder. That has diddly poo to fucking do with creative. So why, Kevin? Why? Tell me why.
Because
Tell me why. Tell me now.
No, I'm not going to tell you now because I'm going to share something that's going to lead into me telling you now.
Oh boy.
This is from this is from Kevin Nash, who we all know is a Click member, good friend of Triple H. But
one of the founding
Kevin
members
Nash,
of the NWO,
Yeah,
one of the large participants in the Curtain Call, which changed wrestling forever.
Yeah, and also has an eye for the business as well.
One of the, from what I have heard, one of the smartest wrestling minds, just overall in general, creative business, like that's what everybody seems to say about Kevin. Like he gets wrestling.
Yes.
So I'll read. You want me to read the tweet, or you? I'll read.
I'll read this one.
You read this. Go for it.
Yeah, I'll read it.
All right.
So from @Real Kevin Nash, Raw produces again. Drew KO, Lashley AJ, and Theory Ziggler pay-per-view worthy matches. Little things where guys are holding on to the ropes on the apron keep the action going and intensity high. This Triple H guy seems to have an incredible grasp on this wrestling game. Keep bringing it. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of what he just said,
Yep.
the following comments underneath here and here
Oh boy.
certainly couldn't be critical of one of your best buddies, says @RunningMan12001. But then @NameDropper5000 goes, there's nothing to be critical of unless you're one of those complain to complain fans.
Hey-o.
Which is what I'm going to say, is that the IWC largely complains to complain. Like, there's certain wrestling radio shows that are complaining about how Raw is not as good. There's certain former creative people who, you know, gave us such greats as Judy Bagwell on a forklift, Viagra on a pole, and the Bro-Off.
Bro.
Like, the shows have been much better, have been marketably better.
They flow nicely.
Marketedly better since Triple H took over creative and Bruce Pritchard took a backseat role. Since Vince left. And no, Vince is not shadow running the WWE from behind the scenes. I think I said it last week when we discussed this, that no, Vince is very much a man of his own convictions. So I don't think if he's retired, he's retired.
Yes.
You know? So again, it's like, it's a complaint to complain's sake, you know? And you got radio shows, you've got other half-wit, no good, lying sons of bitch stealing podcasts saying that, you know, it's bad, it's this, it's that. It's like, no, it's not.
Baron Corbin's not good. Baron Corbin is a glorified Jabba.
You know, and it's like, you don't even know what the word... Like, here's something that I went and said. You know, my brother yesterday was telling me that the Star Wars fandom has got to be one of the most toxic. And I say, yes, it is.
Yes.
But it's not as toxic as pro wrestling. He goes, well,
No, it's not.
What do you mean by it's not as toxic? I went, well, because you have...
Okay. We're going to take a pause.
Hey,
Hold on
that.
to your
Yep.
thought. I will read. Plague Doctor has joined us once again. He said, I'm back and better than ever. Sorry, every time I hear I'm back, that theme runs through my head. He says,
too.
very briefly, to say that the Young Bucks are as flippy as the Big Show. Referencing Big Show's 999th heel turn, face turn, that he concluded before he left WWE.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, about the toxicity of fans, I went and explained to him, like, going, dude, wrestling fans to me are more toxic than the Star Wars fans. I know the Star Wars fans, you know, have gone and been like, oh, but Ray's a Mary Sue. Oh, Rose is badly written. You know, the entire sequel trilogy, you know, it's going to be outwritten and taken away because of the World Between Worlds. And it's all about like being equal and Kathleen Kennedy is the devil. It's like, yet you still watched and still paid for tickets, you fucking dipshits.
Well, first off, they like hate watching, and secondly, I would say that the Star Wars fandom is more comprised of gatekeepers than which creates the toxic environment. I think they're the kings of the kings of gatekeepers, and I fucking hate gatekeepers. I hate gatekeepers in any and every fandom. I hate gatekeepers in fantasy sports. I hate gatekeepers in Star Wars. I fucking hate gatekeepers in pro wrestling. I hate gatekeepers in fucking movies, in novels. You can't change James Bond because James Bond's source material says that he's fucking white. I don't think it says that he's white. I think it just says that he is a distinguished gentleman. Which you took to mean white. Not you, Kevin.
The newest cast. I know you're not meaning me. The newest cast of the Addams Family series is coming out.
Yep.
And people are upset because Luis Guzman is playing Gomez Addams. But the guy who played him in the other live actions were white. No. And
his fucking name is Gomez.
Like Gomez, but Gomez is a last name. I don't think that they would actually like have him actually be Spanish. No, motherfucker. He was Spanish. The author of the comics that came out went and said, no, he's Castilian and has Spanish ancestry.
So hold on, please. When we were growing up, there was an Addams Family movie, right?
Yeah.
Angelica Houston played Morticia Addams.
Yep.
Christina Ricci played Wednesday Addams.
Yep. Yes.
And who the fuck played Gomez? I will say it again. Gomez. A name that sounds very Latin in descent. Gomez. Do you remember the man's name? I'll tell you his name. He played M. Bison in the Street Fighter movie. His name is Raul Julia.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, Raul Julia, right?
Yes. A man of Hispanic heritage and descent. He played Gomez Addams. And he was a fantastic Gomez Addams.
Yes, he was, and well, that's sad. He's 54 when he died in 94. That sucks.
Yeah, it was sudden. I believe it was like a heart failure, maybe, I think. I'm trying to remember.
Let me go to the Wikipedia. Stomach cancer 3 years prior to his death.
Oh, that's what it was.
Contracted food poisoning after consuming sushi. Returned to Mexico, although he lost weight and was physically intense abdominal pain and rushed to North Manhasset, Long Island. Oh, well, that's why he died. He had to go to Long Island.
Nothing good comes from Long Island.
Nope, nothing good. Unless you're okay with minimum wage, big box hardware store jobs, or living with your parents.
Sticking by your best friend who steals money from two different co-hosts.
Oh, okay. So he suffered a stroke, fell into a coma, and was put on life support on October 20th, 1994, and 4 days later, he passed away from complications, never regaining consciousness. Well, rest in peace, Raul Julia.
Yeah, I remember it being sad. I just couldn't remember what it was. I thought it was heart failure, but stroke, yeah. I remember that now. Yeah, he was he was a fantastic Gomez Addams.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A man from Latin Hispanic descent. I'm sorry, Latinx Hispanic descent, sorry.
Puerto Rican.
Which falls under the...
It falls under Latinx, Latino, Spanish, Hispanic heritage. So here's another Remember earlier when I was going bro, like bro?
Yep.
Bro.
Bro.
Well, here we go. Here's the bro.
Oh, from the king of bros himself, Vince Russo at the Vince Russo on Twitter.
As a shoot, I'm really trying to understand why there are some who think Triple H's Raw is an improvement over Vince McMahon's. Outside of him bringing NXT talent back, what is the difference in the show? Truly looking for your thoughts to understand. Thanks. Now to actually say it like Vince Russo. Bro, as a shoot, I'm really trying to understand why there are some who think Triple H's Raw is an improvement over Vince McMahon's, bro. Okay, bro. Outside of him bringing NXT talent back, bro, what is the difference in the show? Okay, bro? Truly looking for your thoughts and understand. Thanks, bro. Thanks.
I mean, you nailed it.
It's
not too many
nail
bros. Not too many bros, but enough bros to know that you're broing, bro. So I fantastic.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
And talk to him, Jack.
Well, I'll go and say it. What's the difference? There's cohesion. You know, everything's starting to make sense.
Yeah.
Last week you had the car crash
Yeah.
throughout the entire night that led to Dexter Lumis, and you had that happen again tonight, Monday night.
This week.
This week, tonight. But you had that happen again. So it's like, why wouldn't you go and do, why would you hate this? Why would you not want to enjoy this? Like, this is great. You know, like, I've been having so much fun, even on just watching the 90-minute Hulus because of my old job. I've been having so much fun watching Monday Night Raw. Especially, I'm going to say this right now, that Drew KO promo,
Bro.
with the two of with
Listen,
KO starting
those
it,
were
you know, all right,
fucking-
Jack.
Those were fucking. That was a promo, bro.
Oh, but you're telling me that was a fucking promo and a half, man. It was like listening to KO talk, like listening to Drew talk as he came out there first, and then Kevin Owens come out and talk about, I've waited 5 years. All right, it's been 5 years too long. I'm going for the prize again, you know. And then of course the nod to Owen. Well, enough is enough, and it's time for the change.
And then he references bringing back the prize fighter Kevin Owens, which for those of you not realizing how significant that is, the prize fighter Kevin Owen is the Kevin Owens that beat John Cena on his while he was still NXT champion.
Yep.
Answered the U.S. title, the U.S. Open challenge,
yeah, it was
or
the
whatever.
U.S. Open, but it was not for the U.S. Championship.
Right. I think
It was just
maybe
one
it was
of
just an
those-
open challenge.
It was just an open challenge, but John Cena happened to be the U.S. champion, or we all could be misremembering this, and, you know, John Cena did have the U.S. title on the line, but Kevin Owens cheated or something.
Yeah. Something.
You know, I can't remember exactly, but he beat John Cena,
Yes.
you know? And then you have Kevin Owens talk about that, and then, you know, saying the WWE Undisputed Universal title.
Not a belt.
Title.
Title.
And then Drew going into his promo about how I was told I was the chosen one 15 years ago, and then I got fired.
And then I worked my ass
I
off.
worked my ass off to come back. And you, like, Drew, when he's talking, you can tell that he's trying to not sound Scottish, and he does a
Which is weird.
decent
Just,
job.
bro, let that shit flow.
Okay. No. I am very much in the camp of, if you're able to not to hide, but to at least make it less, like, noticeable how Scottish you are. Because sometimes, Ray, you sound very, very Scottish if you are. You know, like David Tennant,
Yeah.
10th Doctor, he's Scottish.
Yeah.
So in an episode, where they introduced an alien race called the Jadoon. They're basically a humanoid with like rhinoceros head and torso, and they're called the Jadoon. And they put a hospital on the moon, and the Jadoon are basically like space police for hire type of deal. And they had, now the ooh sound you hear in Platoon and Moon is tough for Scottish people to go and say in their normal dialect. And David Tennant was speaking in a very like modern British London accent when he was the 10th Doctor. So they purposely put a line in where he said a Jadoon platoon on the moon, which is very easy for me and Ray to go and say. But for him, you could definitely tell he was really thinking about how to say it.
How to go about it.
Because he didn't want to say a Jadoon platoon on the moon.
A fair point.
You know, but Drew, the more that he like got into it, the more Scottish he sounded. You know, the more riled up. Like, honestly, I couldn't, like, if you put a picture, like the Office meme with Pam, you know, we need you to go and compare, like, see the differences between these two pictures, and it's the same picture. If you showed me a picture of Drew McIntyre and Groundskeeper Willie from The Simpsons and told me to go and see the differences between the two pictures, I would be like Pam and say they're the same picture.
Right.
Because Drew sounded like Groundskeeper Willie by the end of that promo, especially when he went and said, you can call yourself the prize fighter, a superstar, or a sports entertainer. For what I'm concerned, we're wrestlers in a wrestling ring. Let's just freaking wrestle.
Right. Which is fantastic.
I love that.
That was fantastic. However, let's go back to that Drew promo real quick, because part of what made that promo was the emotion that Drew put into it. Did you really listen to the words that he said? I got fired. I had to work my ass off. They called me.
Yep. Oh, yeah. They called me.
Like, that really, like, kind of resonated. Resonated a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
You know, it's like, they called me. I wasn't begging for a job back. I was doing okay. He was doing okay on the Independence and the Impact and all that. You know, Drew Galloway was making a name for himself. And in fact, the reason that I was so behind Drew McIntyre when he first showed his face at NXT all those years ago is because of what
it wasn't
he did
all those years ago. Can we
Insane
break some
Championship Wrestling, in Impact Wrestling, going around on the Independents and working his ass off.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember when he cashed in the briefcase he got in the Feast or Famine match against Money Matt Hardy for the Impact World Championship. I still remember that. I still remember the chills I had. I still remember the crowd pop when he just ran down, busted Matt, gave the briefcase in, and won the world championship. I still remember, and it's unfortunate he had the shit end of that deal, being the pandemic champion.
Yes.
You know, I really think that he could have, if he had an actual crowd, like that crowd for his Royal Rumble win, was obviously behind him heavy because he was going up against Roman Reigns. That was by design because WWE Creative knew that the crowd was not going to back a Roman Reigns win. But you also felt on the Raw prior to his Royal Rumble win in 2020 that, like,
well, hold on.
Okay.
Pause that thought. So you know that they weren't gonna, the crowd wasn't gonna back Roman. But listen to the crowd when he goes against Brock. Roman's not even in the picture.
Yeah.
You have Brock and Drew. And Brock is bumping his ass off for Drew. Bumping. Listen to the crowd then. That is a better indicator because Roman's nowhere in sight.
Yes. You know, but it was such a sustained pop. You know, obviously the Royal Rumble 2020, the pop of that night was Edge.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Like, I heard You Think You Know Me, And me and my younger brother are watching that show, and the two of us are going, no. This can't be happening. This can't be. Holy fucking shit.
Well, I heard the "You Think You Know Me," and I was like, was on this day? And I was like, oh my god. Oh
yeah. No, and I want, like, there's a TikTok creator who does a lot of these, like, pro wrestling. You cried, I cried, we all cried.
Yeah.
That's one that, like, you cried, I cried, we all cried, because it's like this man cried while retiring from what he loved, and he's back.
Yep. On top of the world.
You know, the you cried, I cried, we all cried. Eddie Guerrero beating Brock Lesnar in No Way Out 2004. You know, Elizabeth running into the ring to go and throw Sensational Sherry out of the ring, or Queen Sherry.
Which WrestleMania was that?
8.
Are you sure?
8. I feel like that Family Guy segment. Jackal? It's a jackal. Jackal? Jackal. Is it a jackal? Jackal. Is it a jackal? Jackal. Jackal? Jackal. Is it a jackal?
It was not 8 because WrestleMania 8 was Flair v Macho.
Oh, that's it. No, that's right. Flair and Macho was 8. Macho and DiBiase was 4.
Yes.
So it was 7.
Yes.
Because
that was Savage and Warrior, if I'm not mistaken, and then Sherry jumps Savage because he lost to Warrior.
Because that was the retirement match, correct?
Yes. Yeah. Which then led to the SummerSlam match made in heaven, match made in hell, which was great storytelling and continuity, which is what Monday Night Raw had in spades the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how they're presenting the U.S. title right now. A couple weeks ago, you had Ciampa, who was trained by Harley Race, come out in Harley Race gear to face Lashley for the U.S. title. You had a promo, a video package for the U.S. title that included Harley Race. You had a video package for this U.S. title. You had Brock Lashley. Jesus Christ. We had Bobby Lashley. Oh, dude, that's the name of my new creator wrestler. Brock Lashley.
Brock Lashley. That's great.
You had Bobby Lashley. I'm writing it down on my notepad here. You had Bobby Lashley face AJ Styles in a 25-minute banger of a match. I'm going to say it again. It was not... Was it the main event? It was not the main event. What was the main event?
The main event was Theory and Ziggler.
That's what it was, yeah. A 25-minute banger for the U.S. title, not the main event. And what that match proved that big man Bobby, who people think is big, lumbering, and slow, can fucking go.
Yep.
Not only did he go,
the other day.
It did not look like AJ had to slow down A, much,
No.
B, if at all.
Like,
to work
also
with Bobby.
It also proves that AJ can have a phenomenal wrestling match, no pun intended with phenomenal, a phenomenal wrestling match with anybody. You know, that he is the epitome of Styles makes a fight.
Like what you did there.
You know, again, no pun intended, but absolutely intended. But Bobby Lashley proved that, like, yeah, I'm not just a big meathead with 5 moves.
And he's not. And people don't seem to realize that. Bobby Lashley is an MMA fighter. Bobby Lashley is an Olympic caliber amateur wrestler. The man was an Army Ranger and was the U.S. Armed Forces Wrestling Champion. Do you realize the type of people you have to go against to be the U.S. Armed Forces Wrestling Champion? Or whatever it was that he was in the service? Like, that's no small accomplishment in and of itself.
No.
The man knows what he's doing. The man can go, and he fucking proved it with AJ Styles this week. Another match that happened, and we just touched on it. The main event: Theory v. Ziggler. You think that anybody who thought Dolph Ziggler had lost a step and was ready to retire and should retire, and no, Dolph Ziggler needs a world championship run before he retires. That man is money.
Yes.
Austin Theory showed up and showed out. I've known Austin Theory can hang. I've seen Austin Theory. Austin Theory did a lot of work down here in Rhode Island with XWA. Lead trainer Matt Taven, from formerly from ROH, now of Impact Wrestling. Co-trainer Mike Bennett. So Austin Theory can go.
Yes.
And if you haven't seen any of his Evolve work, I suggest you check it out. That proves right there that he can go. And it was nice to see him kind of display that a little bit on this week's episode of Raw.
Yes. No, it was really nice to go and see that, like, oh, no, I can go, guys. Trust me, I can go.
Right. It's just, I don't know. I just don't understand. I don't understand why people think the way they do about who's running Raw when there's a noticeable shift in the dichotomy of how the show is even presented, let alone how it's booked and how it's run.
Yeah. I don't understand it either. I really don't.
I just it's absolutely mind-boggling to me. We had Raw also has its story building segments, and one of the story building segments, aside from all of the great matches that they had this week, the Judgment Day just destroying Rey Mysterio. You can actually look on it. Funny thing, the best part, it wasn't a bad segment, and I'm sorry how this is about to sound. It was a very well done segment. It further shows the fight that Mysterio is going to have with the Judgment Day. But there's a scene at the end. You got Damian Priest in the middle. He's got his arm over Rhea over here and his arm over Finn over here. And the caption is the romance novel version of The Undertaker. And I thought it was hilarious. Plague Doctor, he said, coming in with some comments, says, hey, quick question, guys. Is it just me, or does the WWE feel more refreshing? It does. It absolutely does. It is not you. It is everybody. It is a breath of fresh air. We also had Alexa Bliss and Asuka. They defeated Nikki ASH and Doudrop in the women's tag title tournament. Hopefully, somewhere along the way, Doudrop drops Doudrop and becomes Viper. Or, I'm sorry, no, she wasn't Viper. She was Piper. In the Indies, she wrestled as Viper.
She wrestled as Viper on the Independents, but was Piper Niven.
Piper Niven in NXT UK.
Yes.
So I hope that I hope that she does do that. Although she seems to be doing okay with Doudrop, and somebody in the internet went and found the significance of the name Doudrop to Scottish wrestlers, and I guess the Doudrops were like the first Scottish band to have like a #1 hit back in like the 70s. So maybe that's why her name is Dewdrop, and that's why she's okay with it. I was just like, wow, somebody was putting the work there.
Yes.
The Miz and Ciampa, they defeated Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander, which I think is a fantastic tag team. And I think that they should keep, if they don't have anything for Ali and Cedric, keep them together as a tag team. A, your tag team division needs more depth, and B, the chemistry that they have is fantastic. Plague Doctor says, so is it just me, or does Dexter also feel like this very important person all of a sudden?
Yep.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, that is the second week in a row that we have seen Dexter Loomis get escorted out. Without big deal Dexter. A big deal was made about Dexter, and he didn't touch anyone.
No.
That's huge. They're building him for something. Now there are I have read rumors that maybe Dexter Loomis is signifying that somebody else might be returning, somebody bigger. That Dexter Loomis might be this person's Ludwig. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think I do.
You know, think of creepy, think of somewhat paranormal, you know, think along those lines. And you know what? Honestly, I am here for it. So, and then, you know, there was the Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre promo / match. The Riddle, the Riddle segment. We didn't even touch on that. Riddle did the old "I'm cleared," Seth. I was expecting Riddle to be pre-recorded on the big screen and pop up behind Seth, because I felt that's where they were going, and I would have loved that. But they didn't. You know, they did the "I'm not in my mother's basement, Seth. I'm here," and he just bolts from backstage. I thought that was done well. Plague Doctor says, "Give me the Fiend coming to Drew after he wins the strap." Well, that's exactly who I was referring to when I was talking about Dexter Loomis. Way to suck the air out of the room, bud.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, if it's the Fiend.
Seriously. How fucking amazing would that be? And then we had, Veer Mahan just had another squash match, but I like the fact that of how they're building Veer up. I no longer don't care for him. I've always had an interest in Veer anyway, but they keep him prevalent. They keep him on TV with the squash matches. And I just wonder who his actual opponent is going to be. The 24/7 championship was not on the line when Dana Brooke faced Dakota Kai, but obviously Dakota Kai won. And listen, if you can, look up that Dakota Kai Dana Brooke match and listen to some of the commentary. I think it was Corey Graves. Corey Graves, I feel like he's been really throwing the subs at the former head of creative with a lot of the stuff he says. He said something along the lines of Dakota Kai attacking Dana Brooke so viciously because Dakota Kai sees what Dana Brooke is and how she is a representation of the women's division of the past. And how many times have we heard that Vince's type is athletic blondes with big boobs?
Yeah, no, we've heard that quite a bit.
So, you know, he's taking a little shot at Dana, little shot at have Vince as well. And, of course, we covered the main event of Theory and Ziggler. Though that is this week's Raw in a nutshell. I'm glad we were able to cover that. And I actually enjoy talking about Raw more now. So, we got anything else to talk about, Kev? We got anything else to talk about? We got anything else we're doing? Nothing? We're going to put a bow on this, go home?
I've got one thing I want to go and talk about.
Okay.
I'm a big Red Sox fan, if you guys couldn't tell, about half hour ago.
Almost an hour ago.
But I am married to the game of baseball at this point. I do feel the same way as Jared Carabas of the Jared Carabas Podcast and Baseball is Dead podcast from DraftKings. I'm married to the game. I love baseball. If I have a son, I'm going to hope that he wants to play baseball.
I thought you were going to say you're going to name him baseball.
I'm not going to name my kid my son baseball. If anything, I'm...
All right, how about ground rule double?
No, I'm not going to name them. No, I'm not going to name them any baseball names.
Infield fly rule?
No, like the only two baseball names I would consider naming my son would be Kenny or Barry. Or, well, not Kenny, but Ken.
Right. Ken Griffey Jr. Got it.
Yeah. Ken Griffey Jr. and Barry Bonds.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't hear what you said right there.
So, but if anything, I mean, if judging by all the Star Wars shit that I have laying around my entire room, Luke might be an option. Luke might be an option.
Luke might be an option. That's not a bad option.
I won't do Anakin because then there might be a point where, they piss me off and I'm just going to go, you were the chosen one. You were supposed to destroy the Sith, not join them. Bring balance to the Force.
I think you should go with center field.
Not leave it in darkness.
Oh, you could go with Wally. How about naming him Wally?
Ooh, that's a good one. I like Wally. Because not only is it Wally the Green Monster, but then I can also do from the Wally movie. Yep. Wow.
Yes.
ADHD at its finest.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna share something really, really funny. This was from a week ago, and we didn't go and talk about it because I think I saw this on Thursday last week, so it makes sense that we didn't talk about this.
Yes.
But the Yankees in 1973, the New York Yankees organization, were celebrating the 50th anniversary of the opening of Old Yankee Stadium. And they were gathering from other older Yankees players that were still alive at this point, because obviously Babe Ruth had been gone since the 30s. Some other guys like Lou Gehrig were also dead.
They didn't want the dead players to write in?
Well, I mean, at the time they didn't have the voting technology like they do now to let the dead vote, so they don't have that back then.
I mean, they still have Ouija boards, though.
No, fuck all of that noise with the Ouija board. No.
Kevin just said, "Fuck you and your bad juju."
So anyway, the New York Yankees sent letters out to former players to go and ask about memories they had at Old Yankee Stadium, to go and, hey, what's a memory you have? So I'll read the letter. Dear Mickey, as you probably know, 1973 marks the 50th anniversary of Yankee Stadium, and we are going to have a season-long golden anniversary celebration. We hope to mark the occasion on our Old Timers Day, Saturday, August 11th, as well as on individual dates during the season. We thought it would be interesting to learn from what you consider your outstanding event at Yankee Stadium. In many cases, the answer is obvious, but because we are writing a large number of your former teammates, we are asking you to answer this question for us. 1973 will be the final season at Yankee Stadium as we know it. We will be located at Shea in 1974 and 75, while Yankee Stadium is completely rebuilt to reopen in 1976. Thanks for your cooperation. We are looking forward to seeing you in 1973 and wish you a happy holiday season. Yours truly, Botficial. So they sent Mickey Mantle this letter and a questionnaire to go and fill out. Nope, wrong button. There we go. December 14th, 1972. Mickey Mantle writes, I got a blowjob under the right field bleachers by the Yankee bullpen. This event occurred on or about. Give as much detail as you can, and oh boy, hold on to your fucking socks, folks. We getting some detail. It was about the third or fourth inning. I had a pulled groin and couldn't fuck at the time. She was a very nice girl and asked me what to do with the cum after I came in her mouth. I said, don't ask me, I'm no cocksucker. Mickey Mantle was already a legend.
Wow. Wow.
I could, for about 5 or 6 minutes.
Shit.
I couldn't stop laughing at this. As I'm like, oh my god. This is amazing.
Wow. What do you give the guy who has everything in the world? That. Because that is the most unexpected thing. Mickey Mantle, you think he'd be he'd be reminiscing romantically about some one of his best games, right? Nope. Talking about the chick that slurped his gherkin in the fucking third inning.
He's talking, and then again I said, don't ask me, I'm no cocksucker. Like, basically deferring that, like, no, you need to go and decide whether you spit or swallow, not me.
Good job on you also for pronouncing the R at the end of sucker, because normally it's I'm no cocksucker. Good on you for pronouncing that R. I see that the Carolinas have you in their death grip.
Oh no, they don't have me in my death grip, because I have at work gone and dropped R a couple of times. But I'm not drunk enough or mad enough to go and drop it consistently, because believe me, if I really wanted to, I got a blowjob under the right field bleachers by the Yankee bullpen. It was about the third or fourth inning. I had a pulled groin and I couldn't fuck at the time. She was a very nice girl and asked me what to do with the cum after, and I came in her mouth. I said, don't ask me, I'm no cocksucker.
Good job, Shorzy.
Thank you. Fuck your mother.
Nice.
Wait. Oh my god. Hang on. Hold, please. I said, don't ask me. I'm no cocksucker. Cock.
For those of you that are listening to the podcast and not watching it, my genius co-host, who is damn near gasping for breath because he has cracked himself up, held up a mask of one Peter Griffin when he just said all of that. Folks, this is my life, and I'm glad that you can join me and join us for a few hours a week.
But wait, there's more.
And we just got the Billy Mays, but wait, there's more. What's going on, Kev?
I said, don't ask me. I'm no cocksucker. Wait, what?
He just held up a mask of Skeletor. And I feel like he's going to Billy Mays me again.
It gets better.
But wait, there's more.
Hey, Scoob. I got a question. When she comes, what does she do after?
No, he's not going to do it. And
Well, I don't know.
One.
I'm no cocksucker.
Oh my god. The show, in true BJD fashion, has gone so far off the rails
It ain't getting back on the rails.
Ozzy would be proud of this crazy train.
Oh, yes, he would. Oh, wait. He said it.
And with that being said, folks,
We have an announcement to make.
There's more?
Yeah, there's more. We have an announcement.
What's
I
the
need to
announcement,
upload
Kev?
said announcement, but we have an announcement.
Do we need the breaking news sounder?
Yes, hit the breaking news sounder.
Hit the breaking news sounder. In the truck, hit the breaking news sounder.
Hit it!
Okay, Kev, that's the breaking news sounder.
Yay. So, we've done 6 video episodes, 7 audio episodes, and we've done this independently. We were a part of the SLG network originally. We left. We decided to bet on ourselves, and that bet paid off because we are rejoining the SLG network. Now, the first part of this announcement is a brand new wrestling-themed podcast. And tonight might have been a little bit of a preview of said podcast. And that podcast is going to be called Off the Top Rope.
It's a
An SLG
beautiful
Network
name.
Productions. And that is like...
It's sponsored by Dano's Seasoning and What's Poppin' Corn Snacks.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to be able to go and talk about What's Poppin' Corn Snacks. Like,
You have a love affair with What's Poppin' Corn Snacks.
Dude, I had a bag of their caramel flavored popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Try that again.
I need to play it for myself.
Motherfucker, do you speak it?
So, I had the caramel one. I don't know. Put this back up. Put this back up.
Oh, we're just okay.
I'm just gonna leave this up.
All right.
But I had their caramel one, and I love it. I need to go and buy more, and I can't wait to go and buy some more now that I'm in the new place. And then Dano's Seasoning, I go and see at my local Malwart, and I definitely want to go and pick some up. I haven't tried it yet, just because.
Pick up the Chipotle.
Chipotle. Okay, noted. So I'm definitely gonna go and pick up all that stuff. I can't.
Also,
wait to
follow
go
them
and
on TikTok. Dano's Seasoning on TikTok.
Yes.
He is fantastic. I sent you the video of that sandwich he made, right?
Yep.
Oh my God,
that
it looks
made
so
me
good.
Very, very hungry.
Yes. So good.
But yep, Off the Top Rope. It'll be debuting. I didn't put the time on here at all, but that's okay. We can go and tell you the time. This coming Monday, August 22nd at 8 p.m. on the SLG Network socials. And yeah, the Plague Doctor's comment, that sandwich made me horny.
Yes, as it should have. Also, in reference to the What's Popping Corn Snacks, Plague Doctor says the best damn corn snacks sponsor in the game. He is not wrong. Also, he said, hey, if you ever need a dog shit dude who knows shit about fuck, LMK! Exclamation point.
We're going to have to go and get in touch with that dude.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. We're gonna have to find a lot of people because we want Off the Top Rope to sound different and to look different than the BJD podcast. We take our listeners very seriously. We take our followers and our watchers very seriously. We don't want to give you the same two faces 2 times a week. We want there to be variety. That's why we're splitting it up. We're going to talk shop on BJD. We're going to talk wrestling on OTTR. Otter. Off the Top Rope.
I love it. So, with Off the Top Rope, that will be Mondays at 8 p.m. and we're starting on August 22nd on the SLG Network. You can go and search them at the SLG Network, like you see up here, on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, Twitch, Discord. We have a Discord server. Go and search us out. A bunch of good guys. You have the Mad Scientist will be on after us. on Monday nights. at 10
Mad
p.m.
scientist back in the game after a 4-year hiatus. Listen,
Yep.
this dude, the dude knows his fucking shit.
Yes.
We have CD's podcast, two guys that don't know shit about fuck. You can't say that about the mad scientist. The mad scientist knows his shit. And he will be following us. He will be immediately following the Off the Top Ropes debut episode, Monday, August 22nd at 8 p.m. on the SLG network.
Yep. He is
CD's
on at 10
podcast
p.m.
does not suck. They just know shit about fuck. They
There's
are
also
on
the Bayou
Thursdays.
City Boys.
Yes.
On the SLG network. They're on Wednesdays. You've also
It
got
is with-
Sports with Rich.
Oh, with Rich Mancuso.
Yep, Rich Mancuso and Rizzo, I believe, is his co-host. They're on
Yep.
Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. No, the CD's podcast is pretty good. BCB, dope. They are definitely
BCB
legit.
is legit.
I love them. And then there's also YouTube exclusives on the SLG network.
It is what it is
the
with
YouTube
Caleb.
Page. It is what it is with Caleb. Nick.
Starting 5
has-
podcast where they speak all things basketball.
Yep,
In
thank you for that.
fact, I don't know if you saw this. I tried to redirect everybody to it. Earlier this week, or maybe it was this weekend, but the Starting 5 podcast did a little exclusive on YouTube where they talk about the Detroit Pistons and whether or not they're setting their fans up for disappointment again, or are they actually going to be good? And the way they broke it down, if you are a fan of basketball, I highly suggest you go and watch that clip. The Starting 5 podcast here on the SLG network. Detroit Pistons fans hate us. It's hilarious. That is coming from the Plague Doctor. Hey, listen, ain't no such thing as bad publicity. Wise man once said controversy creates cash, baby.
Yep. So obviously that will be Off the Top Rope. However, this podcast is not going away. This
No,
podcast
you're not.
is migrating and joining the SLG network, and we are going to be on Fridays at 8 p.m.
There you go.
starting next Friday, not this coming Friday. Next Friday, August 17th to 19th, August 26th.
Yes.
I'm good with calendars.
No, 25th.
26th.
No, 26th, because today's Wednesday, not Thursday. My fault. My fault.
Exactly.
August 26th.
I told you, I'm good with calendars.
You're good with calendars.
I
I'm
know
good
the
with
days.
speaking. That's
I was
fine.
able to figure out in June that my birthday this year, without having looked at the calendar for October, is on a Thursday.
Nice.
Because it's honestly, it's a simple thing to go and figure out with a calendar. Is if you know the days that have 31 and you know the okay, so the 28's here, this is here, that's here. If you know the patterns, it's pretty easy to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
It's about knowing the patterns. So this will be us. The good thing is
For those of you
we
that
will
are
be
listening and
streaming.
not watching, you are missing the reveal of the newest logo.
So here's the reveal of the newest, not really the newest logo, just kind of a revamp of what we had.
Something
as
different to
always-
mark us going over to the to taking the BJD over to the SLG.
Exactly. So it's again sponsored by What's Poppin' Corn Snacks and Dano's Seasoning. It's an SLG Productions. We will be on our YouTube and Twitch as well as the SLG's streaming platforms.
Facebook Live, Twitch.
Facebook Live, their
YouTube.
Twitch, their YouTube. Obviously, we only go live to our Twitch and we upload the VOD to YouTube. That will remain in place. We're not going to go and change anything like that, and we kind of need to go and put this up.
Yes, we do. We're heading into the danger zone, sir.
Highway.
No, don't do
to
it.
the
Stop, because we literally are heading into the danger zone.
Danger zone.
Phrasing?
Would have been so much better if it was the danger zone one.
I know. I gotta find that one too. I'm also the video clips you see. It will change instead of it being like all the sound clips that I have. I'm gonna figure out a different way to go and do the sound clips because I have a lot more that I want to use, and I'm only limited to 10.
We are working.
And technically 9 because I had the intro video.
We are working on upgrading everything for you, our followers, our listeners, our viewers. We bet on ourselves. The bet paid off. We're back at the SLG, and we are working on making everything a bigger, a better, and a more enjoyable experience for you, for us, for all involved. With that being said, he's Kevin. I'm Ray. This has been another episode of the BJD Podcast. I bid you adieu. Bang.
See you later. Time for y'all to go home.
Bye, have a great time.